buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Gotta change my oil.
How about Valvoline Restore and Protect? It restores and protects your engine to run like new.
Get in zone.
It restores your engine to, like, factory clean?
And protects.
Get in zone.
So Valvoline Restore and Protect restores and protects.
Now you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for $37.99.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Febreze.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppables scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
For Sarah Cazell, I'm Jeff Munn with the latest from the Arizona Sports Desk, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. It's the question that's been on everybody's mind since Wednesday: who is going to be the D-backs closer moving forward? Arizona opens a 6-game road trip with the first of 3 late this afternoon Arizona time in Pittsburgh, and you won't have to wait until the game starts to get the answer. Manager Torey Lovullo will be asked by Burns and Gambo this afternoon in advance of the 3 p.m. pregame show and first pitch at 3:40 on Arizona Sports and the Arizona Sports app. By the way, Sunday, Paul Skeens, the outstanding rookie right-hander for the Pirates, is scheduled to go for Pittsburgh. Brandon Pfaadt goes tonight for Arizona. The Cardinals back on the practice field at State Farm Stadium as training camp continues this afternoon at 1:45. They put the pads back on, and head coach Jonathan Ganon is promising both intense hitting and intense evaluation. The annual red and white practice is tomorrow at State Farm at 1:15. If you're planning on going, head to arizonasports.com for a rundown of the things to expect tomorrow. The U.S. women's basketball team defeats Belgium 87-74 in Paris at the Olympics. They play Germany Sunday. The men play Puerto Rico tomorrow. The latest is brought to you by Red Mountain Weight Loss. Lose weight with semaglutide, the FDA-approved ingredient in Ozempic. In stock and available now for half the price of Ozempic. Trust the medical experts at Red Mountain Weight Loss.
The Bubble, the Turk, grass drills, film study. It's that time again.
Hey, it's Safety Buddha Baker, and you're listening to Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Training camp coverage presented by Bud Light. It's Wolf and Luke live at State Farm Stadium.
We are live from State Farm Stadium. Wolf and Luke on this Friday morning. Wolf, you seem especially fired up today.
Yeah.
Now, I get it. It's Friday.
It is Friday.
We're at State Farm Stadium.
We're at the farm.
But I feel like there's more to it.
Yeah.
Possibilities include we're going to find out some clarity on the Diamondbacks closer before we do our next show.
Okay.
ASU is officially a member of the Big 12 today.
Okay, nice.
I don't think either one of these are your thing, though.
What's a matter of fact, it's just awesome. We're out here on a Friday, of course, at State Farm Stadium, down here on the farm, Axe, and we're getting ready to see some football. And Basinonians, if you're actually going to come out here to today's practice, Friday's practice out here, you may actually see the fur fly. Indeed. I believe there are going to be live situations in this practice. Now, we can all speculate as to what live situation might actually happen out there. There's a number of things I think we could look at. How about a live one-on-one pass rush? Now again, Basinonians, I have no idea if that's going to happen. I have none. Okay?
I feel like the next 4 hours are going to be you building this up so high in your mind.
I'm just saying right now, I believe we are going to see some live situations, and that really has got me all jacked up right now.
It's a fur flying Friday.
What is it going to be? It is a fur flying Friday at the farm. Very, very cool, man.
We started with Meat Grinder Monday, and we ended up with Fur Flying Friday at the farm.
I just think this right now may be the most physical practice the Arizona Cardinals have had, and I think tomorrow they're going to bang away as well. If you listen to JG, the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, Basinonians, Jonathan Ganon, he said that they're going to bang 2 days in a row.
Yeah, he was asked what their intensity level is going to be today and tomorrow.
We are low today, and then we're going to bang the next two.
So there you go.
Awesome.
There you go.
There it is right there. You know what I love about that? That's short and sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, it was 4 seconds.
That was it right there. 4 seconds. Short and sweet. We're low today, and we're going to bang today and tomorrow. Bada bing, bada boom. This is why I'm jacked up right now, and it makes perfect sense. It really does. Friday and then tomorrow, the red-white practice are going to go at it a little bit. I'm sure the intensity level is going to be high for the red-white as well. But it's also the week before, because next week is going to be the New Orleans Saints at home.
Yeah, we're getting
the first preseason game.
We're not that far away.
So
really.
Here we are. That's right, Luke.
We kind of saw a preseason game, like, I don't know, half of a preseason game last night with none of the players and a lot of rain. But we did kind of see a preseason game last night.
Yes, and once again, if we see a live situation out there, it'd be awesome. What do you want to see? I don't know, one-on-one with wide receivers and cornerbacks? That would be super cool right there to see that. Little Marvin Harrison Jr. out there against Max Melton, everybody.
That's what we're all thinking, right?
That'd be really, really cool to actually see a little
Marv
live on that. I don't know. Will they go 9-on-7? Could they possibly go live inside? I have no idea if they're going to do it. Could they possibly do it in a team period? I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen, but from time to time, maybe they might, and maybe it will be Saturday. Who knows? I guess what I'm saying right now, my expectation is at some point in time, somebody's going to go live here.
Well, it's very clearly ramping up, which makes sense. I mean, we're out here, I guess training camp really only started last week. It feels like it's been going, and it's like time to start playing some games, doesn't it? But you're going to ramp up, obviously, today. I mean, there's no reason for JG to say that and then them not do that. And you're always going to be ramped up at the red and white game. I mean, it's whether you are supposed to be or not. There's a crowd watching, and there's some level of competition there, even if it's minimal compared to preseason and the regular season.
And I do wonder how many people they're going to have here at State Farm Stadium tomorrow.
The crowd that was here was that last Friday. The line of people to get in when we were in here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other red-white practices they've had in the past. And I'm trying to think. I have no idea what the record is based on earnings. I don't keep track of this kind of thing. I do know in 2022, I was reading a column in 2022, they had 18,000 people. So maybe they're going to eclipse the 20,000 mark. I would imagine at some point in time, the vibe that has gone out with this team so far this offseason, now leading into training camp, man, it's been really, really high, the expectation and the positive vibes surrounding this team because of what Kyler Murray did in the last half of the season, because of what the Cardinals did largely the whole season. Be competitive, go out and play, ball out, be physical. Now all of a sudden with the draft class that they had, all of this energy, all of this goodness that is surrounding this team right now, man, we might have a super big crowd tomorrow.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to something you were asking a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if we ever really came up with an answer to it, but just in terms of excitement level for this season, when's the last time it was this high with this team? Because I honestly, and I know you laughed at me when I said this, but I'm going to say it again, I honestly think we're probably going back to about 2016. I know they made the playoffs in 2021, and there was excitement the next year, but that season ended so badly, and then wasn't going into 2022 was like all the contract stuff.
Trying to remember, man.
That was all the like Kyler contract coming off, the getting blown out in the playoffs against the Rams. There was excitement because you were coming off a playoff season, but there's a different kind of excitement this year. And I'm not saying expectations like people think they're going to win the division and make this deep playoff run, but more just like, I want to see Kyler throwing to Marv. I want to see what this defense looks like. The red and white game's the perfect place to see it.
Yes, and the excitement. It's interesting you're talking about that. It's palpable. It really is, Basinonians, and one of the reasons being is because, man, they've sold out almost the entire lower bowl right now.
Yeah.
They've already done that, and it's the earliest they've ever done that.
They did it a while ago.
They did it a while ago. So, again, that isn't just speculation that, oh, man, there's this vibe that is out there. It's real when it comes to people spending money.
So we'll see how that is tomorrow because you don't have to spend money.
That's
you just
right.
come out here and watch the team. So what did you say? 18,000 was the number a couple of years ago?
Yeah, 2022 they had like 18,000 people out here.
So I'm going to go above. I'm going over.
I'm going over
that,
20, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over 20?
Yeah, I'm going over 20.
Are we going to be able to check
That's
this?
what I'm taking right now. I don't know.
I'm going to say 2173.
2173.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to
number.
have an actual head count. I think it's going to be more, a guesstimation, if you will.
Well, that's my guesstimation,
I mean,
2173.
you know what's weird about that, too, Luke? There are people actually do that. Like, that's what they do. They walk around and they look, and, you got about 21,000 people here. Yeah,
they don't just count.
They know what's going on.
You want to find that person when they're like 18,743, and then you say some random number, and they have to start over.
People that go out in crowds and they guesstimate how big it is a crowd.
That's not a job.
They have these outdoor rallies all the time. I mean, with political parties and a lot of other things, you got people who actually know estimation.
That would take like 20 seconds to estimate, wouldn't it?
No,
That's your job.
You got to know what you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm looking
if
at
you
people.
If you don't know what 20,000 people looks like,
but
how are you just going to guess it?
Once you know, then your whole day's work is like 15 seconds. Like, it's about like 20 people.
No, Luke, it's so much harder than you're making it sound, especially if you're at an outdoor rally.
It would be hard for me, but if somebody does it professionally, it's not taking them a full 8-hour day. We come back. How did the Phoenix Suns sell Tyus Jones on coming to the Valley? We'll get into that next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Burns and Gambo, afternoons.
Look how fired up this guy is. Oh, my God. Jonathan Gannon's here.
We were just talking about the 5 buckets earlier.
Boy.
Well, what would be the best bucket for us to get ready for our show every day? What
Health.
Do you think? Health. Just health.
Not sleep, hydration, nutrition.
Hydration. Okay. You don't want to be tired and yawning on the air, right? I mean, you got to get your
brain's got to be thinking, man.
Functioning all the time. Got to talk for 4 straight hours.
Yeah. Burns and Gambo, afternoons 2 till 6 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
All right, Basinonians, Ron Wolfley here for my brothers over at Moving Team 6. Go to movingteam6.com for more information. Right now, man, you don't want to move yourself. You want to let the pros do it. This is what Moving Team 6 does, Basinonians. Go ahead and walk into your closet. Just walk in there and look around, man. You're going, oh, man, I don't want to pack all this. Are you kidding me right now? Hey, you can actually have Moving Team 6 come into your home, and they will pack it. They have packing services, of course. They even have a storage air-conditioned facility right here in Phoenix. You can store stuff there, as a matter of fact, waiting for your move. Not only that, too, you're going to work with the Lee family. Tim Lee is the owner-operator of Moving Team 6. I love Tim Lee because this is a guy that is going to treat you right. He's honest, he's trustworthy, and he's experienced. It's a family-run business. Go to movingteam6.com for more information. That's movingteam6.com. Your move is their mission.
Go for the gold this summer with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Follow along with all your favorite international teams in all your favorite sports. From basketball to badminton and soccer to swimming, FanDuel has it all. For more, check out FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Make every moment more with FanDuel.
21 plus and present in Arizona. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
He went to doctor after doctor looking for relief and always walked away discouraged. Surgery and drugs hadn't worked before, so why would he try them again? That's when Carmen made an appointment at QC Kinetics.
I'll tell you one thing. I got a spring in my step. The bounce is back in my step. My quality of life improving exponentially since I've been going to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics has treated over 35,000 patients like Carmen, using their own healing components, concentrating them into damaged knees, hips, shoulders, and backs. No surgery, no drugs.
The pain's gone, quality of life so much better, and mentally I'm in such a better place because I know that I'm not going to wake up to the same old struggles that I have been dealing with every single day. 10 months ago, no joke, I was a prime candidate for a knee replacement. Today, I'm not because of the treatment I'm receiving at QC Kinetics.
Carmen finally got relief, and it was easy, starting with a free consultation at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-PAIN. That's 602-837-PAIN. 602-837-PAIN.
Hi, this is Luis Gonzalez. The Sanderson Ford Summer Sale event is teaming up with the Boys of Summer for the final playoff payoff sale. We're pushing for the playoffs, and you get the payoffs like 0% financing. Plus, no payments for 90 days. Plus, huge cash playoff payoffs of up to $3,000 on new 2024 F-150, Escape, Edge, Explorer, and Expedition. Plus, purchase or lease any new Ford and get 4 tickets to see the D-backs push for the playoffs. So score big now at America's most awarded Ford dealership, Sanderson Ford, and shop with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense during the Sanderson Ford Playoff Payoff Sale. Sanderson Ford is a proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
0% for 36 months OAC through Ford Motor Credit. Tickets while supplies last. Offers expire 9/3/24.
Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride, Sanderson Ford.
Trying to fight the Arizona sun all day, working outside, or trying to sneak in a workout after putting in a full day at the office can leave you dehydrated and fatigued, and I have found a product that checks all the boxes for my life, and I'm sharing it with you. Hydrate and recover from Wilderness Athlete. Dave Burns here, low in sugar, high in electrolytes, amino acids, and super convenient with the individual packets. Say goodbye to post-workout struggles and hello to optimal muscle repair. Get yours today at wildernessathlete.com. Use keyword Burns at checkout for an extra 20% off.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and who will be closing baseball games for the Diamondbacks? They've got a day to decide, and we'll discuss tomorrow starting at 6 a.m. on Arizona Sports.
I mean, now we're playing Nirvana for Wolf 2 as they're rolling the field in for a fur-flying Friday at the farm.
Speaking of live, we'll do it live. Oh my goodness. If you want to know what it's like to play the game of football, this is the song that you need to play right here. Now, I don't want to go into it because it's way too long, but this is the song that emulates what it's like to actually play a football game. Pot it down, Rick. Okay, because otherwise I'm going to keep talking about it.
All right, let's we can kind of solve one of the mysteries, I would say, of this last couple weeks, how the Phoenix Suns got Tyus Jones.
Tyus Jones.
Josh Bartelstein was on with Burns and Gambo yesterday, and he talked about the effort that went into that.
We've been working it. You know, I'm really happy with our summer, and obviously getting Tyus to cap it off is just a grand slam. You know, Kevin Bradbury and his agent and I are close. So James Jones and myself have kind of just been checking in with Kevin over the last 2 weeks and just kind of seeing where his market was and understanding, you know, we offered something very unique to go compete for a championship, the ability to start, to play in Phoenix, to be with Bud, and to be with really, really good players.
Did he just say to start and be in Phoenix?
He did. He did say start.
That's, you know, once again, right now, is there any doubt, after listening to Josh, is there any doubt right now that point guard has been instituted into the Phoenix Suns roster.
No, there is not. And also how, like, unique is that situation of we're going to pay you basically the league minimum to come in here and start on a championship contending team. I mean, just that sentence alone, that takes you in like 3 different directions. If we're going to pay you the league minimum, then we're not asking you to start, except we are. We can only pay you the league minimum. But if we're going to do that, we can't possibly be a championship contender. Well, actually, yeah, we are, because we have Devin Booker and Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I've been riffing on this, right, for, I would say, well, ever since it's happened, with Tyus Jones, ever since they signed him. I've been riffing on this, Basin Earnings, and I'm wondering because, once again, when Coach Bud was hired, he said, we'll use a point guard. We'll get a point guard, but we don't have to play with a point guard. He was kind of vague about all this. Now, all of a sudden, it's sounding like it's a done deal, and I think we all understand it is a done deal right here. They're going to use a point guard. And again, I'm not talking about for 20 minutes. I don't think. That's just me. I think they're going to have a point guard, and I think that, am I making too big a deal out of that?
No,
Seriously.
That's a significant change. We were at the season ended, we were like, what significant changes can they realistically make? And the answer we kept falling on was either new coach, break up the big 3, or have a point guard.
So thank you.
And they've done 2 of the 3.
Okay, exactly, right? So I'm it's not like I'm making too big a deal of this to me, because when Coach Bud was hired, once again, I thought he was really vague on whether or not they were going to use a point guard. I think he said they of course, they'll have a point guard, but it doesn't mean they're going to play with a point guard. And we've seen that situation before. Now, all of a sudden, you get a guy like Tyus Jones, and that changes everything. And he's going to start. He's going to be a point guard that is going to start games. And I'm sure that was part of the reason why he came here. Why else would you come here if you weren't going to start?
I wonder how much of this, and we'll probably never know this because I don't know that they would ever really say it, but I wonder how much of this is still fluid, but also how much was like put into place of, well, we can get Tyus Jones, we're going with a point guard. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we kind, because you're right, Bud was pretty vague. Like, I wonder if he came in, he's like, well, yeah, I'd like to have a point guard, but I'm not going to make it like, the be-all, end-all.
That's right.
And then at some point they were like, we think we can get Tyus Jones. It's like, if you can get Tyus Jones, then we're playing with a point guard.
Can you imagine the brilliance if, in fact, they were sitting there going, you know what, so we think we're going to have a point guard. We think we might actually have a shot at Tyus Jones, because I don't think this just happened in a 48-hour period, based on our needs. I think they were in conversation, of course, Josh being in conversation with Kevin, the agent of Tyus Jones, being in conversation for quite a while. That's how they plow the road, right? And that's how things actually happen right here. So for me, this is something they've been working on. Is it possible that they, let's go get Monty Morris, because we want a point guard. We want to have a point guard. And we get Monty Morris right here, and he's going to be really, really good at protecting the ball, because we got a shot at actually getting Tyus Jones as well. And now if we had those 2 guys as our point guard on our roster, are you kidding me? And the point guard being institutionalized again? Man, if they planned that and orchestrated that, that is pure genius.
You legitimately have a starting and backup point guard on your team now without asking Devin Booker to do it.
Yes.
Not that he'll never do it, but it's not like, we got like when they added Monty Morris, it was like, okay, well, there's somebody to give them a little bit of relief.
That's right. That's right.
But now it's like it's almost like they've created a position that wasn't on the team last year. Here's more from Josh Bartelstein.
As we kind of kept checking in, and you could kind of see the excitement and change, and again to talk to Tyus. Then we recruited him. We made a plan of, hey, we're going to treat this like a college recruit and go all out and talk to his wife and be able to show him why his kids will love being here. So it was a 2-week process that every day we kind of had different touch points. And when we got that call and he said he was in, we were ecstatic.
Oh, there it was. It was a 2-week process. That's what he said,
That's
right?
better than 48 hours.
Okay, yeah, it is better than 48. That is really, really cool right there. They recruited Tyus Jones.
Well, here, I'm going to play some more of this. Burns and Gambo asked him, okay, he didn't have a whole lot to work with in terms of finances because the league has made it so you can't. So how much of this was luck, too?
Yeah, I think in all sports, luck plays a big part in it, whether it's a ball that goes in and out, a pass ball in baseball where someone's tackled on a football field. Like the degree of separation is so small. And in free agency, look, you can be someone's second option 5 different times. And if they get their first option in all 5 of those teams, you can go from making $10 or $15 million to a minimum. Like that's the degree of separation, how thin the margins are.
Yeah, that is really difficult. Was it luck? I don't know if I like to call it luck, only from the standpoint Tyus Jones was there, and he's looking at the Suns as an opportunity, I think, as well. Is it luck? I suppose. But I'm sure Tyus Jones weighed and measured the Phoenix Suns as well and said, you know what? They got 3 dudes who really need somebody to orchestrate. They're not really part of that process themselves. Okay, now Devin Booker can do it. We all know that. Bradley Beal can do it. We all know that. But they're better as scorers, as we all know. So maybe it's a situation where it wasn't as lucky as it was just saying, you know what, this is wise of me to do this because on a 1-year deal, I could set myself up real nice if you're Tyus Jones.
Well, logically, too, Tyus Jones has not really got to play on a whole lot of really good teams yet in the NBA. He was kind of in Minnesota at the wrong time. And Memphis when they were starting to take off, but then things got a little sideways. And then Washington last year was kind of just a lost season for him. I mean, he played well, but there's not a lot of teams in the NBA that are title contenders that have a lot of money left they can spend. That's just the way that they've done it. I mean, they don't really have a hard cap, obviously, but they punish you now if you're going past into the luxury tax and into the second apron. So it's still, though, it's difficult for the Suns of all teams where you just said they had the highest payroll in the NBA. Remember that came out a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
And then they go out and get Tyus Jones, who's like, that's the sort of player that multiple teams want. Josh Bartlestein talked about that, too. They can't offer more than the minimum, so they had to negotiate with other items.
There's really no negotiation for a minimum, right? All we can offer is a minimum. So on the periphery, we can offer all these other things about just the experience here, how we treat your family, the role. So, yeah, like if someone would have offered a multi-year huge contract, like we're not kidding ourselves. Of course that's going to happen. But once it gets into a range of where you're looking to reestablish your market maybe next summer, I believe we have incredible things to offer here. Living in Phoenix, the city, the people, what we're building culturally. And our view is we can win a lot of ties and even win things that it's close. And I think that's what happened here.
I kind of like that. There's no secrets, right? Like everybody knows the Suns can only offer the minimum. So if you get Tyus Jones to take the meeting, it's not like there's a conversation about money. If he's sitting down, he knows you can only offer the minimum, so he must be interested at least, and then you got to sell him, and they obviously
Yeah, he was looking at all those other things right now. It's so bizarre to me because of the fact that the Phoenix Suns have institutionalized the point guard position. I've talked about this and riffed on this for a while now, Basinonians, but what's amazing about it, for $6.1 million, they got those 2 guys, Tyus Jones and Monty Morris. They got 6.1, so it's even like, you don't have to be tied to that. You can go ahead and actually play Devin Booker at the point and be okay, because it's not like you're paying these guys. I don't think it'd be the smartest thing to do because of Tyus Jones.
Well, there's a reason they're doing this.
Exactly right.
Have you subscribed to the Wolf and Luke Show podcast? Subscribe right now on your iPhone or Android. You will never miss any of the show. It's the Wolf and Luke Show podcast brought to you by FanDuel. When we come back, do you want to see Marvin Harrison Jr. play in the preseason? Is he going to play in the preseason? Does Marvin Harrison Jr. want to play in the preseason? It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Like and subscribe, Bird Gang. Cardinals Corner with Tyler Drake and Lauren Koval. Covering the team, talking with the players, and chopping it up about everything Arizona Cardinals. Get Cardinals Corner at ArizonaSports.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, Basinonians, Ron Wolfley here from my brothers over at Sanderson Ford. Go to santanford.com for more information right now. If you've been even thinking about trying out an electric vehicle, oh my goodness, gather around the transistor and press the ear right now. Tim Hovick's Sanderson Ford is the place to explore the possibilities of EV. That's right, Basinonians, EV, man. Maybe it's the Mustang Mach-E, Or maybe it's the Ford F-150 Lightning, 2 EV vehicles right there, courtesy of Ford. Maybe you're looking for something like that. Maybe you're not into it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, but there are millions of drivers that are, and maybe you want to try EV and give it a go, right? The current lease offers over at Santan Ford are crazy good right now. Listen, Santan Ford is the West Coast headquarters for electric vehicles. Go to the Santan 202 freeway in Val Vista Drive in Gilbert, or go to santanford.com.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. You can find Active Liver at Amazon.com or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. Or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Go to new, NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and if you're hurt in an accident, it is so important that you get medical treatment right away, and then you call the attorneys at Sweet James. It's critical that you make your health a priority and get representation quickly so Sweet James can help you with medical care, with your car, and getting you the most money for your injuries. Remember, you pay nothing at all until they win your case. Call Sweet James at 800-9-MILLION, 800-9-MILLION, sweetjames.com. Proud partner of your Phoenix Suns.
Parker & Sons wants to thank you, Arizona, for helping them become the Valley's most trusted heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical company over the last 50 years. 50 years. It's Parker's 50th anniversary. They are celebrating by giving right back to Arizona with 50 acts of kindness. If anyone you know is in need of Parker's services, visit Parker50.com and nominate them for a free service or repair today. Parker50.com or call 602-2REPAIR.
I'm Jesse Morrison with the latest from the Arizona Sports Desk, presented by Parker & Sons, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. After a day off yesterday, the Arizona Diamondbacks are back on the field today. They play the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Brandon Pfaadt starts for the Snakes, while Luis L. Ortiz starts for the Bucks. First pitch is at 3:40 with pregame coverage starting at 3 right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. And here's a cool story. Phoenix native Ty Washington has signed a 2-way contract with the Phoenix Suns. You can read more about that up now on ArizonaSports.com. The latest is brought to you by Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. Diversify your portfolio. Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax uses multiple money managers to spread the risk. Claim your free portfolio review today. AssetPreservationWealth.com.
I'm gonna need you to keep time. Come on, just snap your
Training camp coverage presented by Bud Light.
Wolf and Luke talking Cardinals camp. Now.
All right, we are out here at State Farm Stadium. Wolf, your new friend. White Pants guy is out there.
Yeah.
Now that you guys know each other on a first name basis. Donnie White Pants?
Donnie. That
sounds
not
like a
bad.
Godfather
I like
character.
that.
Donnie White Pants.
It's better than Don White Pants. White Pants Don. That's, I don't know.
White Pants Don's okay.
Don.
Don White Pants sounds like a made-up character.
No, I think you're right about that. But there
Donnie
he is.
White Pants
He's got
gets
the
stuff
white
done.
pants back on, and he's doing his job, rolling in the Betty Crocker tray.
Unfortunately, we're not really doing our job. So I'm going to play some Marvin Harrison Jr. audio. He spoke yesterday. Marv he's not a big talker necessarily. Lets his play do the talking. But he spoke yesterday, and he was asked what he expects from these preseason games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully I get to play. I definitely want to play, get out there, always compete. The coaches are going to do the right thing for what's best for me and what's best for the team, so I always trust them and their judgment. But I actually think there probably should be preseason games in college. I think they should take advantage of it more. College only played 12 games, so 2 extra games won't hurt preseasons. But hopefully I get a chance to go out there and compete.
He was asked the follow-up question of, do you want the preseason reps?
Definitely. I remember going to college last year. Sometimes you don't really get to have those full-speed game reps until the first game of the season. So I think it definitely benefit me a lot at this level.
You get pads on in the...
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I put a lot of pressure on myself. My standards for myself are very high. I definitely get nervous before games.
That's the biggest thing, right? Wolf, it's the game speed.
Yeah.
I mean, more than anything else. Like, I know there's all these other elements to it. You're going to get hit harder in the NFL, but just the overall game speed.
Okay, just a couple of things from the sound you just played right there. First of all, did he just say at the end, I get nervous before games?
He did.
He did say that. I absolutely love that, Marv. That is very, very cool to actually say that. Step forward and speak the truth. And you know what that tells me? A guy who's going to get nervous a little bit right now before games, he knows. He knows what is coming. He knows how difficult it's going to be, right? And he knows what he's going to give. And he hopes that things go well for him when he's actually. I love the fact that a player like Marv, a rookie coming into this league, is going to say, yeah, I do get nervous before games right there, because that nervous energy will explode onto the field. More times than not, that's exactly what happens.
It shows you care, right? I mean, it's a pretty
Big
good
time.
indicator. If you don't really care what happens, you're not nervous. And I would even go one step further, Wolf. I would say that that's a pretty good indicator that you know you're capable of doing something great. And it's more like, am I going to make this happen? Like,
right.
It's in me. I have the potential, but like, am I actually going to do it?
There's a lot of guys who don't want to admit that. You know what? I get nervous before games. Don't want
That's
to
true.
admit that.
So it's never been nervous in my life, bro.
I know, right, bro? I'm just going to walk through it, dude.
That's right.
You kidding me?
This is
Watch
my
this.
league.
You ain't ever seen a guy walk through this thing without one bead of sweat dripping down his face. I just knock it off, dude. I love that. I love the fact that he said that, and I also like the fact he wants reps. You know what? Play these guys. Play these guys, man. Honestly. You've got to be smart. We all understand that. When you got these rookies, man, they need reps. They need game reps out there. And for me, I say play these guys. Even if it's 3-4 snaps, I don't care.
That's where I'm at with it. Like,
look, are you really, if the guy goes down and you played him 3 snaps, what are you going to do,
and it was going to happen in week 1.
Life.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're running him out there all game, every preseason game, and hey, by the way, it's a 17-week season, 18-week, 17-game season
what are you
now.
doing?
Yeah, but especially for a rookie, and I know everybody's like, I heard this on the morning show driving in. They were like, yeah, even Aaron Rodgers says he wants to play in the preseason. Yeah, I know everybody says it. But I actually believe Marvin Harrison Jr. because he is such a routine guy, and it's just it seems like something. Plus, I thought his answer there was genuine, but it does seem like something where like he would want to kind of get the experience of NFL game speed and then kind of process that for a couple weeks before the opener against Buffalo.
Yes,
I'm with you. Even if it's only four plays, I don't care. Just give him a chance to get used to it. Yeah.
And obviously, there's going to be other rookies that are going to get more reps than 3 or 4 reps that are out there. But for me, I'd love to see all the young guys play.
You don't even have to throw them the ball, really.
No.
I mean, just let them go out there, run a pattern, kind of figure out where everybody's going to be and what that looks like in the NFL. And you're not going up against the University of Minnesota's defense, kind of get just to feel what that might be like. Jonathan Ganon was asked if Marv is treated any differently than the other rookies regarding preseason.
No, I think he needs to get out there and play, but we'll make that decision when we got to make that decision. So we're taking it day by day right now. He's working on his game, ready to go on a Thursday.
That, to me, sounds like we'll probably see him in the preseason, but don't expect to see him in all 3 games.
Yeah, that was interesting to me right there. I took it a different way. It was just kind of like, you know what, so we're going to have that meeting, and we haven't had that meeting right now. Okay, we're going to, we're going to sit down, we're going to talk about that. And guess when that will happen, Basinonians? I think for me, that's next week at some point in time. They're going to sit down, see how his training camp has been going, and then talk a little bit about how much do we want to play him in this New Orleans Saints game. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Now, I could be dead wrong on that, Basinonians, but for me, that's what I think they will do. I think they'll have that personnel meeting next week, and they'll say, okay, how many reps do we want to give all these guys? Not just Marvin Harrison Jr., but maybe some starters that are out there right now. How many reps are they going to get? Yeah, they're going to figure all that out.
I do think him saying that he does need to get out there, though, I mean, that's Ganon saying it, right? There's this moment where it's like, he almost said it like, yeah, he needs to get out there. I got to check with the coach. Oh, wait, I am the coach. So if Jonathan Ganon feels like Marv needs to be out there for a little bit in the preseason, I'm guessing he's going to be out there. But, again, I could see that being 1 series in 1 game or something.
For me right now, this is just me, and I have no idea if this is the case. But to me, I think it'd be more organizational on that. I do. Not just JG.
Oh, you think Monty's knocking on the door like, hey, by the way.
I'm thinking Monty is in that room having that conversation as well. I'm just saying, once again, I think you're right, Luke.
That would be smart.
I think it's JG's decision as to, if he plays or how many reps he's going to get. But I also think Monty Ossenford is sitting in that room. That's what I could be dead. I think he'd be laughing hysterically listening to me right
Monty
now.
could be behind this thing right now. He could be walking around
That's
the
why
concourse.
Tim Vanderwolf has no clue how things work. But I would be shocked if Monty wasn't in there and if Monty didn't have a voice on it.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I just it's because it's a rookie. Like, you can make the argument, okay, well, Kyler doesn't need to be out there. We don't need to risk injury to the quarterback. And I hear what you're saying, Wolf. Like, you're not playing these guys a ton. It's the NFL. If they're going to get injured on the first drive of a preseason game, then they might have got injured in week 4 of the season.
Man, I'm just saying.
But with a rookie, I do think it's a little bit different just because they haven't gotten used to the game speed. And especially a guy like a wide receiver, you really don't have to throw him the ball for him to get something out of a preseason game. Run a couple routes, just kind of get feel for where everybody is on the field, how quickly they move. It's very different. He knows that, obviously. But it's one thing to know it and to kind of feel it instinctively. So when you're out there in week 1 against the Bills, you're expecting just playing sports, you kind of get a sense for how quickly things are moving around you. And if he wants that, I would think they're going to give it to him at some point, but I don't expect to see him a whole lot in this preseason. All right, when we come back, we're just going to ask a nice, easy question. Who should the Diamondbacks closer be? And you know who we're going to ask it to, Wolf? We're going to ask D-backs broadcaster Jody Jackson. She's here. She drove all the way out to the stadium just to do this.
Jody.
She's joining us next. She's standing actually right next to you. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
D-backs decision makers from the team's front office join Wolf and Luke Wednesday mornings at 11:45 for D-backs Front Office Focus. Brought to you by Canvas Annuity. The home of Arizona Diamondbacks baseball is Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
All right, Basinonians, Ron Wolf here from my brothers over at Trajan Wealth. Go to TrajanWealth.com for more information right now. We all know occurrences like inflation, oh my goodness, election cycles, new laws, and interest rates. They can affect the financial markets in the short term, right, brothers? But my advisor at Trajan Wealth, fiduciary advisor at Trajan Wealth, explained to me that it doesn't make sense to keep changing the way we invest in response to the daily news. Makes an awful lot of sense, right? We're in this thing for the long haul, Basinonians. They worked with me to craft a strategy that is in line with my goals, risk tolerance, and time horizon. And they can help you too. It's one of the reasons why you should pick up the phone and give Trajan Wealth a call today. The simple truth is there's more to retirement planning than simply calculating your expenses to maintain your lifestyle throughout the next stage. 480 is the number, 990-3300 for Trajan Wealth. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Hey, you know who loves America's pastime? America Roofing, Arizona's roofing contractor of the year, serving the Valley for over 2 decades. Paul Calvisi here. They were referred to me, and now I'm referring them to everyone I know. Plus, save 10%. Click AmericaRoofingCo.com.
At the UPS Store, we get it. Being a small biz owner requires grit and hustle, but you don't have to do it alone. We've got your back. You put your heart and soul into your biz, we put ours into packing and shipping. While you're keeping track of your custom-made orders, our mailboxes are keeping your packages safe. Because we're here to help you be unstoppable with shredding, printing, notary, and more. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today.
Hey, it's Gambo, and I'm back to tell you about BackFit Health and Spine. I'm here with my friend Earl, who was suffering from some really bad back pain, and he decided to check BackFit Health and Spine out for himself. What would you say to people out there that are listening right now that are saying, I just learned to live with it because nobody's been able to help me?
Absolutely. I would say go try BackFit. It's been a game changer.
9 locations in the Valley for BackFit Health and Spine. They take all major medical. Text BACK to 620-620, and we'll get you the location nearest you.
Message and data rates may apply. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, this is Ron Wolfley.
And Luke Lipinski.
We're here to talk about one of the most important issues affecting our community. Every year, we hear far too many heartbreaking stories involving children and water.
Please take 2 seconds out of your day to help prevent these tragedies. Learn about important water safety tips and enter to win swim lessons from the YMCA.
Go to Fulton2seconds.com or text SWIM to 620-620.
And never forget that 2 seconds is too long to take your eyes off your kids near water.
This is Doug Fulton of Fulton Homes, proud to partner with KTAR to keep your kids safe around water.
You've probably been hearing a lot about Refi lately. Have you ever thought about working there? Refi has a fantastic opportunity to join our investor relations team. You've heard Shane Doan, Brandon Webb, Tom Chambers, and Jody Jackson endorse our investment opportunity. And there is a reason for that. Successful investor relations representatives have a servant's heart to answer questions, provide respectful, consistent follow-through, and have a desire to help investors understand the Refi story and how we provide a strong, fixed rate of return that's not tied to the stock market. Refi offers a very competitive salary, major medical, 401k, gym membership, and a positive in-office work environment. If you have the need to succeed, want to work hard for investors, have some fun, and make money doing it, send your resume to careers@yrefi.com. That's careers at the letter Y, then REFY.com.
Refi is an equal opportunity employer.
Leading off with Jody Jackson on the Wolf and Luke Show.
Swung on, hit in the air to center. Going back, Isbell. He's onto the track. He's at the wall, and it is gone!
Brought to you by Refi. Invest in America's future. Go to investyrefi.com.
All right, this is a good time to talk some Diamondbacks. They got a big series starting in Pittsburgh tonight against the Pirates, a Pirates team that they just took 2 of 3 from, nearly swept actually last weekend, but this time it's in Pittsburgh, and we will see Paul Skeens not till Sunday, though. Jody Jackson's here. Jody,
hi.
What's going on?
Much this is great. Now I know why you guys love, being here, right with the field and everything. You're not going to ask me, Wolf, where my weight's at, though, are you?
No. No.
Everybody that sits down here.
By the way, you don't want
my weight's good, by the way. I'm good. I'm down a couple pounds.
No,
you don't want him to guess it. I can tell you that.
Hey, I was just going to say, you don't want me to make an estimation either, okay? I thought Mel was about 150 pounds.
Wait, what?
That's right.
Are you kidding me?
I guess,
Yeah, I'm bad with guessing weight, too. Just don't do it.
Exactly right. Don't do it. This season right now, I mean, when you think about it, though, for the Diamondbacks, seriously, where do you start? Where are you right now on this entire season? What a vibe they've got going now.
It's an awesome vibe. It feels like they can do anything right now. When they come back I was in Kansas City watching them come back. They weren't down by 5. there. I think it was a 1-run lead for the Royals. They flip it, and then they add on. They score 5, and you're like, wow, it was Gabby Moreno. It was a bunch of different guys. Ketel Marte. Then they do it at home in an epic comeback in a game that was so depressing because Jordan Montgomery was bad. It all felt lost. And they come back and just Ketel with a 2-run homer, Corbin with the walk-off. It's just Corbin, by the way, I'll go to Corbin even before you guys ask me, right?
Okay, that's a good move.
18-game on-base streak, and that's where he's had the 6 home runs over that span. So you are seeing, like, now you see him at the plate, and he's not looking lost like he was earlier in the season. You know, when I say lost, striking out, swinging at bad pitches.
Oh, yeah.
So now, he's up for those moments. There are moments, he's not going to get a hit every time he's up there, but he's walking more, and he's making things happen, and that's what excites you.
Since you went there, what have you noticed in terms of the difference for why the power is back? Because we've talked about this on the show a lot this season, and there was a point this year where I was willing to sacrifice the power from Corbin Carroll. Just give me him on base and him running around the bases, you know what I mean? But the power is 6 home runs in July is not those are power numbers.
Yeah, I think it's just he's continuing to. It was all about, first of all, hitting the ball hard, and then it was about hitting on a line. And Joe Mather had told me it was almost a month ago now. Now it was about maybe hitting it. You're not trying to hit a homer, but elevating the ball a little bit. And then I think that's all. It's a simple approach, right? When he barrels it up, he backspins it. It can go a long way, and it is. That's significant power, and and then Gino Suarez, what he's done is incredible. And it had me thinking. We used to kind of see Paul Goldschmidt start really slow, maybe not as slow as Gino was this year, but you kind of get. But Gino was new to the team, and I even asked him the other day on the field. Gracie was asking him about the homers. He had 3 home runs in that game, and I just said, how hard was it going through what you went through, and with a new team? Everyone here, they don't really know.
With a new team in particular.
Yeah, and he said he was really. It was sweet. He really said, I'm proud of myself for just sticking with it, like getting through it. And he did. He just kept. You would see him walk on the field and play defense, and he just had blinders on. I think he heard. I don't know how much of the noise he heard. Right, it's hard not to, but it's hard not to feel that from the fans when you're struggling. And
I'll give you specifically credit, because when you were filling in on this show when he was like at his lowest point of the season, which was probably like mid-June when he hadn't really turned it around, you were one of the very few people I heard that was like, you got to stick with him, because if for no other reason than the defense. But as you said, like he does tend to start slow. That was starting from a complete standstill in June, it felt like. But now look at him.
And he's capable of that big power. And I just think it wasn't like he was too old all of a sudden, or he wasn't capable of this. Those things weren't showing up. And I just think he just kept at it, and it's really paid off.
Yeah, I just know how when I went with the Cleveland Browns after playing 7 years with the Cardinals, I walked into that locker room and it was like, you got to be kidding me. I wanted to make an impact immediately for the team, and just watching him struggle the way that he did, it brought back memories.
Speaking of that, I you know what I found? Look at this.
Look at
this. You'll never believe this. It's not with the Cleveland Browns. This is the Cardinals card right here. I love this because this is just, they spelled Virginia wrong on the back. But yeah, I just love this. This is like ferocity right here.
Only
the
Jody would notice
Ron Wolfley card here. And I got to tell a quick story how I got this.
Sure.
Todd Walsh was doing a series in San Diego, but he had a U2 concert on a Saturday.
That
and he
sounds
said,
right.
Jody, could you fly in? Could you do this? And so when I get there and I get to my room, in the room is the Ron Wolfley card with a box with some chocolate, because I can be bribed with chocolate. I basically said, Todd, if you leave me chocolate, I'll come to San Diego and I'll do one game. And his Larry Zonka card too, by the way. So you're in high company there.
Thank you, Jody. I appreciate that. There it is, right there for the camera.
I had to. You led me right to it, though. The Cleveland Browns.
Right. Exactly.
It's a nice card there, Wolf.
Thank you for that, Luke. I appreciate it. Okay, the Diamondbacks, 12-2-3. 12-2-3 in their last 17 series.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's amazing.
Jody,
it's great.
that's not a small sample size.
And I know where you're going to probably go. I know where you'll go. It could have been.
Yep.
It could. I know they were 17-8 in July. I know what it could have been. We all know. And that's the thing is, for those that say, "Oh, it was going to be 22 and whatever." Okay. Even if Paul wasn't struggling like this, closers do blow saves occasionally.
True.
So let's just
and
go
they
middle.
stole a couple too.
Let's go like 20. It could have been like 19 or 20 though. Yeah. But
33 and 19. Now that's 52 games right there. 33 and 19. That basically is a third of the season right there. Man, what are the connect the dots when you think of 33 and 19? What got him there?
Well, I mean, the pitching has, and that's the thing. They went through in June some really poor rotations, some where the whole rotation struggled through one turn, and that got better. The bullpen's been pretty consistent until this latest bump with Paul, which started right before 4th of July, kind of around that time. But just the offense has shown, and it's the offense mainly, the ability to be the answer backs a little bit more. But I do give the pitching a little bit of credit. Again, they're hanging in there without Merrill and Eduardo, and they're coming back. Eduardo Rodriguez, we think, is on track to start in Cleveland.
Man.
So that's really exciting.
Like 5 days from now.
I know.
That's crazy.
It's so cool to think about. And then Merrill will not be far behind. And then, and they have Josh Bell coming in. Walker getting hurt it really stinks. For so many reasons, right? We know all the reasons.
But it could have been worse, I think.
The fact that he'll be back, and I think that's why they want to be careful. You want him to be fully healthy. He was trying to play through it that day.
Yeah.
If you heard him, he talked about the warm-up, and you're thinking, Christian, this is probably a good move that you did come out of this game.
Can I talk to you over here, please?
Just set this one out.
I get that, but this is going to be better. I don't think he really hurt it to the point where he can't be back for this stretch run at the end of September. And Josh Bell will be there tonight, so be sure to tune in. I'm sure Todd will have that interview and everything coming in. So
very cool.
Hazen has done a good job of sustaining and fortifying and all of that. I am curious what Jordan Montgomery will do tomorrow when he starts. It's going to be important for him to get back on track, though.
And Josh Bell knows all about Primanti brothers, correct?
Oh yeah, he came up
doubt.
through that, and I had multiple people reach out to me. Jessica Blaylock down in Florida, most recently, he was there. Robbie and Smikowski, who was in Pittsburgh for 15 years. Like, this is the best guy. Josh Bell is an awesome dude, and the sandwich too.
Josh Bell.
More about the sandwich, please.
It's more about Primanti.
But we had this argument, Mark and Todd and I, about I don't like the fries. I'll eat it. Like, I love food, and I love ballpark food, but I just don't want my fries on my sandwich.
Okay.
I like them on the side. Dip them in cheese. I like to dip them in cheese.
I don't mind a fry falling off the sandwich or two.
Jody, you don't even know how torturous this is because there's a concession stand right behind us, but they're closed because all the fans are on the other side. So we're sitting next to a concession stand wanting ballpark food.
But that's the difference with game day is you have the smell of the burgers.
Yeah,
when I come down here, occasionally I come down to see some friends down here from the press box, and usually sometimes I even get a burger because it smells so good.
We have to ask you this, and now you only get like 10 seconds to answer.
That's when my weight gets up, and then I have to tell
Wolf's like, what are you, like 150? Real quick, what would you do at closer right now? Like tonight, let's say they're up 3-2 in the ninth inning. What are you doing?
Okay, so here's the thing: if he can fix what's wrong, where he can't throw strikes, if it's mental, that's one. He's pretty strong mentally, but I wouldn't even mess with it. I would try to, even if you see in the bullpen he's fixed, I would definitely throw him in a more of a 5th or 6th inning situation.
Yeah,
I think that's only fair. I mean,
get him right again before
a 5th or 6th inning, it's just kind of lower lever, whatever you have to do on the back end. You can match up with those guys that you have, and that's fine. But I think throwing him out there, if you're, give him some time. We may see him get some time to fix the delivery and what's going on, because that was not something we've seen from him where he can't throw strikes.
Yes, I know.
He usually throws strikes, He's not a nibbler typically, but
being the loyal guy I am, I'd go down the rabbit hole with him one more time. But,
would you? Okay.
You know what, Torrey has got to make those tough decisions.
It's not
easy. Torrey is a loyal guy as well, but that's what a manager gets paid for.
Got to win the game.
I think I just chalk it up to like he is having some technical difficulties with the delivery, and so once they feel that that's right, then put him in a lower leverage situation. That's what I would do.
Jody, this is great. Thank you so much for bringing Wolf that card
Yeah,
to all the way from San Diego. That's very nice and kind of you. When we come back, how do the Cardinals vets the guys that they bring in? Jonathan Ganon detailed that, and it's kind of amazing. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Leading off with Jody Jackson on the Wolf and Luke Show. Brought to you by Refi. Invest in America's future. Go to investyrefy.com. Your home for everything Diamondbacks. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
When we feel divided, we look to something that can bring us together. It's time to do something powerful and meaningful for kids who need your help.
Be the champion of hope. And help kids like me at Phoenix Children.
The Give-a-thon for Phoenix Children's begins Monday, August 12th. Keep listening to hear how you can make a difference for Arizona kids and families. The Give-a-thon is presented by your Valley Hyundai dealers and Ak-Chin Indian Community.
We're a two Ford family. Yep, Paul Calvisi here. In fact, Ford has been part of our family for generations. Built Ford proud dates back more than a century in this country. And the future, it is here at our Desert Ford dealers. Like those F-Series trucks, built Ford tough. And the all-new 2024 F-150 with the all-new interior and exterior is designed to be the most rugged, dependable, and productive ever. No workbench, no outlet, no problem. With Pro Power on board and that convenient work service, the F-150 has you covered. SUVs, there's the Ford Bronco Sport with 5 available trims, the Ford Explorer with all the advanced tech, plus 3-row seating that folds down for tons of cargo room, and you gotta love how there's a powertrain for everyone. Gas, hybrid, electric, like that 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E, 100% electric, 100% SUV with sports car performance and zero tailpipe emissions. Bottom line, get to our Desert Ford dealers and see how a new Ford fits your future at buyfordnow.com.
Are you dealing with a back issue and don't know what to do or who to call? Greg Schulte here, and I've got your answer. Call Desert Institute for Spine Care, a.k.a. DISC. DISC surgeons treat a variety of different spine conditions, such as herniated disc, sciatica, spinal stenosis, and degenerative disc disease. DISC is known for its minimally invasive surgical solutions, believing that using at least invasive yet most effective treatments is the best way for their patients to restore, revitalize, and rejuvenate their active lifestyles. And DISC is so good at taking extra time with patients to help understand their pain and how it's affecting their everyday life. Several years ago, DISC took care of my herniated disc issue, and I've been pain-free ever since. I trusted them, and I hope you'll place your trust in the DISC surgeons to help you get through your back issue. Text SPINE to 620-620 or visit sciatica.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hi, I'm Don Barano, Division President of Mattamy Homes. We are honored to be the Stories of Hope sponsor for the Phoenix Children's Give-a-thon. Your donations fund essential research, advanced clinical programs, cutting-edge equipment, and family-focused services, ensuring top-tier care. By supporting, you help expand specialized children's care in Arizona. Call 602-933-4567 or text GIVE to 620-620. The children at PCH need our help now more than ever.
Message and data rates may apply.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, save 40% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus, free home delivery on select smart beds when you add an adjustable base. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Gotta change my oil.
How about Valvoline Restore and Protect? It restores and protects your engine to run like new.
Get in the zone.
It restores your engine to, like, factory clean?
And protects.
Get in the zone.
So Valvoline Restore and Protect restores and protects.
Now you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for $37.99.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
I'm Jesse Morrison with the latest from the Arizona Sports Desk, presented by Parker & Sons, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. After a day off yesterday, the Arizona Diamondbacks are back on the field today. They play the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Brandon Pfaadt starts for the Snakes, while Luis L. Ortiz starts for the Bucks. First pitch is at 3:40 with pregame coverage starting at 3 right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. And here's a cool story. Phoenix native Ty Washington has signed a 2-way contract with the Phoenix Suns. You can read more about that up now on arizonasports.com. The latest is brought to you by Right Way Roofing. There's only one way, that's the right way.
The thing that's been missing from our life, it's football.
This is wide receiver Greg Dortch on the home of Arizona Cardinals football. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Cards Camp, live from the farm. Wolf and Luke coming your way with training camp coverage presented by Bud Light.
Hour number 2 of the show, live from State Farm Stadium. It is Wolf and Luke. Thanks to Jody Jackson for joining us last segment. Jody always bringing the positive energy, and there's a lot to be positive about with the Diamondbacks, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Wolf, there's also a lot to be positive about with the Cardinals right now as well. And I heard Jonathan Ganon say this. He was on with Burns and Gambo yesterday. I heard some of what he said, and it was almost like he was speaking to Ron Wolfley. Okay, so I'm going to play some of these cuts, and we're going to react.
Okay.
He talked about the character of the guys that the Cardinals bring in here now. And before I even play this, this was such a point of emphasis among Cardinals fans. As a fan, it doesn't always line up with what the team actually does, but this was such a point of emphasis from people who covered the Cardinals, people just around the Cardinals, certainly Cardinals fans, when they were looking for their next GM and head coach. And it's probably one of the coolest things about this era of Cardinals football. What was going on in the front office was lining up with what everybody wanted in that sense of, like, we're bringing in character guys and we're restarting this basically in a very specific way. So here's Jonathan Ganon yesterday.
I would say it's a credit to Monty, his staff, because you're not going to swing and hit home runs every time you bring a player on board. But himself and me were very convicted. It's a big percentage. It's a very big percentage. Mm-hmm. And here's why. Because the more guys you have, like the guys you just named and all the other guys, you don't have to deal with distractions that are outside the building or sometimes even inside the building. You can just get to football and development and serving the players.
You don't have to worry
So it's
about
like, because, when those guys are all in on ball and they're team-first guys and they got good character, normally it goes hand in hand.
So much more efficient this way. So much more efficient.
Just absolutely made so much sense to me as I heard this. I didn't hear it live. I heard this after on a cut, and JG was talking about the culture and bringing these guys in. And I think we have another cut, do we not, as well? We got other cuts here in regard to talking about the player and the type of player that they're bringing in. And to me, it was, oh my goodness, this was an epiphany. Listen to this.
I think that's the way that those guys, whatever their ceiling is, those guys have the best chance to hit it.
Right.
And then with saying that, if those guys are all hitting their ceilings, I think that's how you build a consistent winner. Because you can win with maybe not so good guys, maybe, 5 games, 8-game run, or maybe 1 year. But it's just hard, from my experience, it's hard to sustain a winner when you don't have the guys that you just named. So that's why we're all about it.
What an unbelievable moment right there.
What, you making that sound or
No,
his answer? Okay.
There it is. This made so much sense to me. I got to tell you right now, brothers, it blew my mind when he said that. I was like, well, of course. That's what it is. The ceiling. He's talking about athletically, the ceiling. Talent. Everyone's got a X amount of talent based on our needs. But guess what? That talent is there. It's got a ceiling. It's got a floor, and it's got a ceiling. And what he's saying basically is so simple and yet brilliant. It blows my mind. He's just saying right now they got a much better shot of hitting the ceiling than a guy that's got a lot of distractions in his life and a guy that isn't a character guy. Okay? I mean, that to me makes an awful lot of sense. The important thing is, how do you vet that? How do you do that? That's the key to that situation. How are you going to vet a dude to make sure he's a character guy? That's the key to all this. And Monty Ossenfort and JG, they have that key.
Yeah, here's more from JG.
It's just certain things that hit your brain. It's like, why don't we have these things? Why don't we talk about these things? Why don't we have a plan for the players? Why don't we hire people for these things, the expert in those roles? And I've worked for some great guys. I'm not saying that. It's just, you know, when I got here, it was like, all right, what do we believe in as myself and as a staff for the players? And, you know, we kind of can't, it was already kind of come up with, but like, as you start going and thinking and talking about it, but I'm just glad that we got to put it in place and our players buy into it because they know it's the best thing for them, and we got experts in those fields to help them with it.
Man,
you know, Wolf, we had Monty Ossenfort on earlier this week, and when I asked him about Marvin Harrison, like I know he always gets asked about Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay, but the reason I was asking him about Marvin Harrison Jr. is, and he gave a good answer to this, it's because all the stars kind of aligned with that pick. Like Marvin Harrison Jr. could be this outstanding player, and he is. He could be this you know, the best receiver in college football. He could be a generational talent. He could be somebody that puts in the work the way we know he does. But if he didn't fit the vetting process for the sort of person they want to be on this team, that would have been a really tough decision. Right? Because how do you pass on Marvin Harrison Jr. and then explain it to people, well, he's not quite the person we want to have around here. The fact that he is the sort of person that they would have brought in, even if he wasn't that good of a receiver, they would have drafted him in the third round or something. Right. That's the sort of, like, good fortune that could turn things for a franchise.
Yeah, man, it's incredible, the simplicity of it all. And yet at the same time, I never thought of that, Basin Orleans. I never thought of the fact that character guys basically care. And because of that, they're going to reach their ceiling more times than not. Now, maybe that ceiling isn't high enough. Maybe it's not as high as some other guys. But that other guy, is he going to get to that ceiling? Or is he going to stay near the floor for the most part? Because he's got some character issues right there. My old coach used to say, character guys care.
Put the care in character.
Character guys care. And yet, okay, boy, I couldn't stand it when he said that.
It doesn't sound like it based on the impression you're making.
No, but I'm just saying that's how he used to say it all the time. And yet at the same time, it makes so much sense. Now you got to figure out how to find character guys. And oh, by the way, they still have to play the game of football as well. So it all comes back to the vetting process. And what that is and how they do that, I don't know. That's an inexact science.
All right, we come back over to basketball. Team USA playing their final opening round game tomorrow. Would another gold medal really do anything for Kevin Durant's legacy? There's talk that it would. We'll get into that next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The Cardinals have begun doing this and this. Practice is open to the public, and Arizona Sports is there with Wolf and Luke and Burns and Gambo, bringing you the sights and sounds from Cardinals training camp. Training camp coverage presented by Bud Light. Get more of this, and this from the Cardinals and Arizona Sports on 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Ah, summer is here. Time for video calls, eating lunch at your desk, and navigating office politics.
Wait, that's not what summer's for.
But my inbox is full.
Inbox schminbox. Life is short. Summer is for getting away. Bring on the beach, the national parks, the music festivals. We gotta get out of here.
This summer, get away from the monotony in the Hyundai you've always wanted. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event is going on right now. You can get the hottest deals of the season on many of our award-winning Hyundai models, like the tech-filled Tucson, the spacious Palisade, or the super stylish Elantra. Ignore those meeting invites and get away with the peace of mind that comes with America's best warranty. But get going, because these deals won't last. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now for a limited time, get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson or Elantra. Hurry into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end September 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Trying to fight the Arizona sun all day, working outside, or trying to sneak in a workout after putting in a full day at the office can leave you dehydrated and fatigued, and I have found a product that checks all the boxes for my life, and I'm sharing it with you. Hydrate and recover from Wilderness Athlete. Dave Burns here, low in sugar, high in electrolytes, amino acids, and super convenient with the individual packets. Say goodbye to post-workout struggles and hello to optimal muscle repair. Get yours today at wildernessathlete.com. Use keyword Burns at checkout for an extra 20% off.
Hey, it's Gambo, and I'm here with Stuart Willis, the president of Asset Preservation, Wealth, and Tax. Stuart, as I and many others close in on retirement, we're getting bombarded with this information about, annuities. Everybody should do an annuity. Give me your thoughts on those.
Well, Gambo, we just left one of the lowest interest rate environments in history. Advisors were advertising annuities on the radio and at live seminars saying guaranteed 7% income. But never forget, income is what you take. Interest is what you make. And retirees or pre-retirees are on their second or third year of seeing no return at all on those investments.
And there's tons of fees involved in a lot of these annuities, right?
Oftentimes, people have these riders that I believe are completely useless and expensive, and they need to start making more on their money.
If you bought an annuity and you're concerned with the low returns and want a second opinion, call 602-877-PLAN or go to AssetPreservationWealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor.
You know what happens when a smart group of medical professionals get together and commit to a technology designed to relieve your aching joints without surgery? It's called QC Kinetics.
And this guy knows the power of a solid team. Emmitt Smith, football legend and Dancing with the Stars champ.
This elite medical group, some of them orthopedic doctors, got together and said, why are we prescribing so many medications? Why are we sending so many people to surgery in droves? Let's change this.
The answer? Natural biologics, our own healing properties. And the outcome is the country's largest provider of non-surgical regenerative treatments, QC Kinetics.
Actually, the real outcome are the tens of thousands of patients who finally got their quality of life back without surgery. Thanks to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-PAIN. That's 602-837-PAIN. 602-837-PAIN.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
I had a dream last night. We drove out to see Las Vegas.
Hey everybody, it's Burnsy, and we got our first look at football in 2024. Are we okay with the new kickoff? Did Lauren watch her Bears from start to finish? We'll tell you on the Burns and Gambo Show, 2 to 6 on Arizona Sports. All right, Team USA back at it tomorrow. Against Puerto Rico, Wolf. Finally get that showdown with Puerto Rico we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
Finally get to send a message to Puerto Rico when it comes to basketball. And then that's it. And then we'll be in the quarterfinals or the medal rounds or whatever you want to call it. But so Team USA, the first 2 games, Devin Booker has played more than anybody. Kevin Durant has probably been their most efficient player, certainly in terms of scoring. The legacy talk with KD, I don't know where it ends. I mean, can you think of another professional athlete where the legacy conversation has come up more? I mean, I know it came up a lot with Tom Brady, but it was like because he's won all these Super Bowls, so he's just widening the gap that somebody else is going to have to close in the future. But I just feel like the KD legacy thing comes up a ton, and it's not like he's never won a title.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's not like he's never been the MVP of the final series.
Multiple times.
Right.
I mean, you would
exactly
because that's what you would think. You'd be like, oh, this guy's a great player, but he's never won.
I honestly don't know how in the world this would impact his legacy at all.
Either.
How does this impact KD's legacy? He's going to be known as and remembered as one of the best basketball players that have ever played the game, period. That's already established.
Well, this is Kendrick Perkins from earlier this week. And Kendrick Perkins, again, I always at least listen when he's talking about KD because he's a former teammate. And this is what he said.
You know, when it comes down to KD legacy, right, just think about it when we talk about the NBA. Over the last, 3.5 years, Kevin Durant has taken a lot of criticism on the NBA level, right? Mm-hmm. Like switching teams, leaving Steph Curry, going to Brooklyn, that being one of the greatest busts in NBA history, going to Phoenix, the firing of Frank Vogel, all of these things. And then Kevin Durant goes and plays for Team USA, and he shut the hell up, right? With that performance he had last night in the first half and with the performances he's had in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good, and he was great in the Olympics. He's great in the NBA. I don't know. I'll play another one here from Kendrick Perkins, then we can react to both of those together.
3-time gold medalist and on the verge of winning his 4th all-time leading scorer. So it was shut up a lot of criticism about Kevin Durant. I think Kevin Durant winning another gold medal, I know me personally, I will be the one to say, you know what, it's nothing that could tarnish KD legacy.
Yeah, okay, so he's saying there's nothing that could tarnish his legacy right now. He doesn't have to win another gold medal. Is that what Perk was saying?
I took that
right
as
there?
If he wins another gold medal, there's nothing that can tarnish his legacy. And I can't imagine, is the conversation next year going to be like, boy, you know what? Kevin Durant's unimpeachable because, look, he's got 4 gold medals, which is fine. But then is it going to flip to that KD's overrated. He only won 3 gold medals.
Yeah.
Is there really that much of a gap in terms of everything else he's done in his basketball career?
Yeah.
To me, Kevin Durant just is what he is at this point. He's won a couple finals MVPs. He's one of the greatest scorers ever. He's one of the greatest players ever. And he probably is the most accomplished U.S. men's basketball player ever.
Yeah, I don't think you could improve, at least to me, I don't think you could improve his legacy right now. If he were to walk away from this game, people are going to remember Kevin Durant as one of the 10 best basketball players that have ever played.
Yeah.
And that's a sliding scale where you might actually put him. But this guy, everything he's accomplished on a personal level and from a collective and from a team level as well, I think his legacy once again is beyond repair.
It's not.
Repute. that was not said correctly.
Beyond repairs. It seems a little bit different.
That's right.
It's not like he's never won a gold medal before, and this is something new. Oh, this is the one thing KD's never done. He can check that box on the checklist. He's won 3 already. Here's more from Perk.
When you think about what he's done for the game of basketball, when you think about being 7'1", being able to be versatile, and I know he still want to be 6'9", but when I'm looking at these pictures and he's standing next to AD and Joel Embiid, he looks 7 foot. Okay,
Yeah.
he looks 7'1". Okay, but at the end of the day, think about what he's done for the game. And like Swagoo was saying, Molly, think about this: as the game being global right now, right, and you're stepping on this stage, and you have so many international players that's coming into our league. And I feel like in the NBA, they're taking over our league. I just love it how the
when you look at guys like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, guys like, no, we playing.
They are playing. It's a quote Burke right there.
Your thoughts on that, Luke?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the tournament itself is more compelling now that you've got, 68 NBA players on the other teams. There was a little bit of a run there where it was like, oh, okay, Team USA basketball's on. This is fun. We'll just see how much they beat the small country by. And it is still that, but I also feel like there's a little more of a sense of accomplishment when you win the gold now as opposed to maybe there was, I don't know, like maybe in the early 2000s or something. I know they had that year where they lost, and then, by the way, the Redeem Team special on Netflix is great, where they brought that team back together in 2008. But so. Right. But now, like, the competition is better. They're still way ahead of it.
Yeah, as we're having this conversation, I'm just thinking to myself right now, again, based on earnings, from my own personal perspective right here, I believe KD's legacy is secure. It's not going to change.
I think it is what it is.
No matter what happens the rest of his playing career. Let me just say this, though. What do you think would be more important? Another gold medal. He wins the gold medal here.
I can already answer this.
Or the Suns win a championship.
And you're not just saying here in Phoenix. You're saying, like, big picture.
Yes,
no, it's
picture.
definitely winning a championship with the Suns.
That's exactly right.
Because the only criticism that people can really have of him, legitimate, I don't even want to say legitimate, but, like, the only one that people can land on that isn't just, you just want to change teams all the time, is that you won a title with Steph. Which, by the way, so did Klay Thompson. And,
exactly.
Steph won a title with Kevin Durant that year, too, in both those years. But that's the one where if you're talking about legacy, I think a lot of people who criticize KD would have no legs to stand on at that point if he won a title here in Phoenix.
Right, exactly.
Whereas if he wins another gold medal, and he's going to win another gold medal, I'm guessing those people are still going to criticize him for something.
As we have the legacy conversation, I just don't like it when players think of their legacy. That's what drives me crazy.
You weren't running down the field thinking of your legacy when you were playing?
I just don't like it when dudes think of their legacy. That, I'm worried about my legacy. Dude, sit down. Knock it off.
That's more
legacy
time to
is
think
for
about
everybody else to worry about. How are you going to be remembered? That's what your legacy is going to be. You don't control that legacy. You live your life, and people are going to pick, and they're going to poke, and they're going to, hey, you know what? I like this guy, or I'm not going to like this guy. But you don't get to decide how they feel about you. You don't.
It's crazy to me, and it's been this way forever, it feels like. Like, use Steph as an example.
Yeah.
Right? Do you ever hear people say, like, well, he needs this for his legacy? Steph doesn't even have a gold medal, does he? I don't think he's ever – I'd have to double-check that. I think somehow he doesn't have a gold medal yet. But either way, whether he does or not,
okay.
Nobody ever looks at Steph and they're like, you know what he needs? He needs this for his legacy. Like,
Can I just tell you, I'd be shocked if that were the case,
for some
that
reason,
he doesn't actually have a gold medal.
I don't know why I thought that. Maybe – I don't know. But
okay.
either way.
You might be right on that, okay?
Regardless, like, you never hear that discussion about Steph.
Yeah. No.
I would say Durant. I mean, you're talking about two of the greatest of all time. So I'm not going to sit here and say, Durant's better because Steph isn't good in this area. They're two of the greatest of all time.
I just think right now, honestly, sorry, Luke, but Kevin Durant, whether he wins a gold medal or not in this Olympics in Paris, he's the greatest Olympian we've ever seen, in my opinion, already.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, no medals won. It's so weird.
Wow.
And not only that.
See, I would have never in a million years ever guessed that.
Google has this, like, weird, like, look at this. There's all this, like, space on the screen. Like, Google doesn't even know what to do. I could probably just set off some chain reaction at Google right now. Steph Curry, no medals won.
Wow.
Because he hasn't played in them. But I don't know. It's just interesting. Like, those are two players, not similar players, but similar in the sense of what they've accomplished and just how great they are. And yet you never really hear that conversation about Steph, or really most guys. Text us your thoughts to the FanDuel text line at 620 right now. When we come back, D-backs in Pittsburgh today. How big is this series for them, and who's going to close the games for them? It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The Give-a-thon for Phoenix Children's is coming soon. You can make a difference for Arizona kids when you listen beginning Monday, August 12th. The Give-a-thon for Phoenix Children's is presented by your Valley Hyundai dealers and Ak-Chin Indian community.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness. But money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Hi, folks. Brandon Webb here. What makes Refi so different from other investments? Refi offers a secure, collateralized portfolio with a strong fixed rate of return, up to 10.25%. That's right, you heard it, 10.25%. There's no attack on your principal if ever you need your money back, and you're in control. You can let your investment compound daily or take income, whatever you choose. Just call 877-80-INVEST or log on to investyrfi.com. And make sure to tell them Brandon Webb sent you.
In this Arizona heat, hopefully your air conditioning at home is doing its job. But if it goes out, call Parker & Sons. They have been serving the Valley for 50 years, and they were just voted #1 by consumers in Ranking Arizona for the 15th year in a row. That's because when you have an emergency, Parker & Sons sends a pro your way in minutes, not days, and they will never charge you extra during nights, weekends, or holidays. So for all things heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical, call Parker & Sons at 602-2REPAIR.
Hey, folks, it's Dave Ramsey with a word about investing. One investment you might not think of, even though it's probably the biggest purchase you'll ever make, is your home. So this summer, invest in your home with Window World. You see, Window World replacement windows and doors will help keep your home cooler, reduce your power bills, and increase the value of your home. Plus, your investment is backed by Window World's true lifetime warranty. Call today, and Window World of Phoenix will install 5 large premium sliding windows, all with energy-efficient Solar Zone Sun Shield glass for only $39.63, tax included. At Window World, you get their guaranteed lowest price up front without any hassle. So take care of your home with an investment that will last a lifetime. Call today or schedule online at windowworldphoenix.com. That's windowworldphoenix.com. Window World, simply the best for definitely less.
Dan Bickley here with my man, Shane O'Hanrahan. And Shane, what's going on this summer at Chapman BMW?
We got a lot going on, Bick. Financing as low as 2.99%, a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles that have gone through an extensive inspection. And if you ever thought about going electric, we have the incredible lease deal on the BMW i4, starting at $449 a month. So come on down, say hello, and get your hookup.
You can shop online at ChapmanBMW.com. That's Chapman BMW. 2 great locations.
1 great experience.
I'm always in a hurry, and I love a good breakfast burrito. Well, Sombrer's is now serving breakfast starting at 7 a.m. in their drive-thrus. Problem solved. Dave Burns here for Sombrer's. They are committed to providing fresh, Sonoran-style Mexican breakfast at an affordable cost. Me? I love the classic bacon, cracked egg, cheese, and potato burrito with a cup of Mexican honey-pressed coffee. Add a little of that new salsa verde from Sombrer's, and now we're talking. Start your day the Sonoran way at Sombrer's.
I'm Jesse Morrison with the latest from the Arizona Sports Desk, presented by Parker & Sons, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. After a day off yesterday, the Arizona Diamondbacks are back on the field today. They play the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Brandon Pfaadt starts for the Snakes, while Luis L. Ortiz starts for the Bucks. First pitch is at 3:40 with pregame coverage starting at 3 right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. And here's a cool story. Phoenix native Ty Washington has signed a two-way contract with the Phoenix Suns. You can read more about that up now on ArizonaSports.com. The latest is brought to you by Carol Royce, your home sold guaranteed realty. Don't settle for one cash offer. Get multiple cash offers with Carol Royce. To receive your home's best cash offers, search Carol Royce online and call today.
Whoa, whoa, yeah.
Haynes Gamble has D-backs manager Torey Lovello made a decision on who his closer is going to be going forward. We'll ask him today at 2:30 exclusively on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Baby, we took a trip, now we on your block and it's like a ghost town. Baby, where did you
timed it
be
right
at
that
when they
time.
said they doing all this and all that?
But you didn't sing it.
Well, you know,
Can't
it's
even
kind
pay
of
me enough to react.
saying it. Baby.
Been waking up in the crib and sometimes I
Welcome
don't
back
even
to the
know
show.
what I'm doing.
It's Wolf and Luke on a Friday.
On a Friday.
A fur flying Friday at the farm.
Man, here we go at the farm right now. That's right, Basinonians.
4 F's of football.
This is going to be the most physical practice the Arizona Cardinals have had all of training camp.
So really it would be a physical fur flying football Friday on
Oh,
the
I
farm.
love that. Yeah, the alliteration
That's
right there. Just
6
go ahead
times
do
the
it.
alliteration.
Just go
I can't
with
do
it,
anymore.
man. Down here on the farm.
The Diamondbacks are back at it tonight in Pittsburgh. This is a big series. I know they all are right now, but this one in particular, because right now the Diamondbacks are finally in a playoff spot. After all this, they have finally climbed into the third and final wild card spot. Only a game and a half actually out of the number 1 spot, only a half game back of San Diego for the 2 spot. But the problem is the Mets are a half game back. The Cardinals, the Pirates aren't that far back. So the Pirates are 2.5 back. If you don't mess around here, if you put the Pirates away, you could actually put them away. You could put them 5.5 games behind you by the end of this series, or, you know, Pittsburgh could pass you. So this is pretty big. The Diamondbacks really dominated the first series against Pittsburgh last weekend when Pittsburgh was one of the hottest teams in baseball.
Yeah.
They won 2 of 3. They should have won all 3, but they didn't face Paul Skeens, and they will face him on Sunday, it looks like.
Yeah, that's right. The Pirates, as you said, they were super hot. They had won 10 of 13, as a matter of fact, coming into that Diamondback series. And the Diamondbacks went ahead and took care of business right now. Will they do it again? To me, every series going forward, especially the more healthy they get, is a big series to me. The wild card is wide open. It is. But as we were discussing as well, you know what? So is the NL West to some degree.
It's not crazy.
It's not crazy. It isn't crazy at this point right now. With all of August and into September, it's not crazy.
Like, the Diamondbacks are closer to the Dodgers than the Braves are to the Phillies for first place in their division, than the Cardinals are to the Brewers for first place in the Central, than the Royals are to the Guardians, than the Red Sox are to the Orioles and Yankees.
That's right.
And also, I mean, to be fair, the Padres are right there, too. The Padres have actually been one of the hottest teams in baseball coming out of the All-Star break. D-backs half game back of the Padres.
Yes, the Padres. So listen, right
5 back
now,
of the Dodgers.
I just want to keep winning series. That's what I want to see. The Diamondbacks have done an incredible job of this. I want to see them continue to just win series somehow, some way. 12, 2, and 3 in their last 17 series. It's truly amazing to me the sample size that is. 52 games. There are 33 and 19. They just have, and they've been doing it just by winning series. They haven't swept. What, May was their last sweep, and then all of a sudden they sweep the Nationals. Okay, they hadn't done that since May, Basinonians, and it was only the second sweep they've had all season long. You've got to be kidding me. They're winning series. That's what they have done. And what just fills me with all of this hope, man, again, is the fact they're getting healthy once again. I don't think there's any coincidence here whatsoever with the Diamondbacks playing their best baseball, and guess what? Guys are getting healthy. Now, I know Christian Walker went down on the IL with the oblique. I understand that. Hopefully, they dodged a bullet on that. It won't be too long. But to me, this is a team that has been playing unbelievable baseball, and they're going to get healthier. They're going to get guys that are going to make a difference. And Merrill Kelly and Eduardo Rodriguez. You got to be kidding me, Luke. Right now, if you're a Diamondback fan, just go ahead and hold the flag up and fly that flag proud, baby.
7 games below 500 going into June.
Yeah.
7 games above 500 going into August.
Wow, there it is.
So if you, like I said, you can get caught up in the playoff race and look and say, yeah, I mean, they're not sweeping teams. Are they really making up any ground? Yeah. That's a 14-game swing over the last 2 months. They were 7 games below 500, and now they're 7 games above 500. Everybody in the National League was bunched up, even back in June. Now some teams have dropped out of that race. I think realistically some teams have dropped out of it. I'm going to play this cut from Tim Kirkjian. He said in his mind there's 2 pretty clear teams to make the playoffs, at least as wild cards.
I really like where the Padres are right now. Especially with Fernando Tatis Jr. coming back. They do have, of course, injuries to Darvish. They don't know when he's coming back. Joe Musgrove's got an elbow that they're not sure how badly he's hurt. But I like the rest of that team. And at this moment, and we're all guessing, I would say the Diamondbacks and the Padres are the 2 most likely choices to win the wild card in the National League.
There you go,
yeah,
right
I would say they're the 2 most dangerous teams in the net. Like, if the playoffs were starting tomorrow, I'm not saying they're the 2 best teams, but just the way those 2 teams are playing. Again, though, with the exception of the fact that you don't know who's closing games for the Diamondbacks. So, you're dangerous to the other teams, but you're dangerous to yourself. So here we go, Wolf. I mean, they're playing tonight. And for the most part, the Diamondbacks are playing pretty close games. So let's say it's 4-2 going into the 9th tonight. Who's closing?
Yeah. It's who's closing. Just listening to Torey, you get that feeling, the indecision coming from Torey. The last time he talked about it before the last time was, can you actually say that? When Paul Sewald, he said, we're going to stick with Paul Sewald. Remember that?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's kind of like, okay, we're going to wait and see how this goes. That indecision you don't hear from Torey. You just don't hear from Torey very often, that kind of indecision. And because of that, I think we're going to see something different.
Paul Sewald.
I wouldn't do it, but he would.
I would. But, I would. I want to say this in the right context. When I say I would do something different with Paul Sewald, I'm not saying like he's off the team. Like that seems to be the reaction people have. Like, oh, he blew another save. Get him out of here. Like,
right.
Not that.
No.
I'm running him out there in the 6th inning or the 7th inning tonight. Paul put up a couple zeros. Give me a 0 tonight. Give me a 0 on Sunday, and then we can have a conversation again next week. I do believe the Diamondbacks are better off with Paul Sewald as the closer, but not if he's not going to close out the games. Then he's
right.
That's an important part of the whole closer role. You have to close the game out.
That's awesome right there. We got to rip that, man. Pull that from the audio file and play that later. That was really good.
In fact, Torey can just hand him that and like, look, Paul, we want you to be the closer, but you do need to close the games. Again, Sewald's numbers going into the start of July, he had a 0.54 ERA and he was 11 for 11 on save opportunities.
Oh my goodness!
But man, in July, and he made a lot of appearances in July too. A 10.80 ERA and 4 blown saves, and we all know there was going to be a 5th. I mean, he technically picked up a hold on Wednesday. He technically got credited with a hold. That was going to be a blown save.
It's a blown save. That's what it is to me. You put a closer into a position to go out and secure the game. I don't care what it is. Technically, if he's out there to secure the game and the win, that's a blown save.
You know
if
what?
He doesn't do it.
As we're talking right now, I think that tells us all we need to know.
Yes.
Usually, if your closer's out there and he blows the save. They don't usually get pulled out. So the simple fact that he got pulled out before he blew the save tells me that somebody else is closing the game, the next save situation for the Diamondbacks.
And once again, I don't know why you wouldn't hand the ball to A.J. Puck. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Nobody's ever going to be able to convince me that the freaky Mike Hazen did not make that move and give up and gave up what he did to actually get A.J. Puck with that thought in mind.
Because Hazen,
you know what, if this goes bad, we got somebody we could turn to.
He's playing chess. He's playing 3D chess, right?
The freaky.
I'm not going to go out there and get A.J. Puck to replace Paul Sewald.
Yes.
But I'm going to get a guy that could if we need to. If I need somebody to step in and be the closer, and oh, by the way, he's signed for, he's team control for another 2 years. He could be the closer for a while if he can pull it off. The question now is Puck or Gink? That's where we are.
Right.
We play a round of Puck or Gink later on.
I like that.
This is what we've been reduced to. All right, coming up next, we're going to take you through the top stories of the day with Wolf and Down Your Lunch. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
this afternoon at 2:30. Burns and Gambo talk Diamondbacks baseball with D-backs manager Torey Lovello. Brought to you by Estrella Jalisco. Don't miss Burns and Gambo with the skipper. 2:30 this afternoon. Listen on the Arizona Sports app at 98.7.
All right, Basinonians, Ron Wolfley here from my brothers over at Presidential Pools. Go to presidentialpools.com for more information. Man, they've been around for a long, long time, Basinonians, over 3 decades right now, over 30 years. Presidential Pools and Spas has been the Valley's premier pool builder. Listen now, they've got a lot of credentials here. They're APSP certified. They hold an A rating from the Better Business Bureau and are proud members of the prestigious United Aqua Group. What I love is their cabinet is packed with awards. Presidential Pools always winning awards, including Best of Our Valley 2024 Basinonians and multiple Pool of the Year titles as well. And when you choose Presidential Pools and Spas, you're choosing peace of mind. They've got an industry-leading 5-year warranty that ensures your investment is always going to be protected, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the best warranty in the business. Go to presidentialpools.com. That's presidentialpools.com. Arizona's #1 pool builder.
Hey, you know who loves America's pastime? America Roofing, Arizona's roofing contractor of the year, serving the Valley for over 2 decades. Paul Calvisi here. They were referred to me, and now I'm referring them to everyone I know. Plus, save 10%. Click AmericaRoofingCo.com.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money. Unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hi, this is Luis Gonzalez. The Sanderson Ford Summer Sale event is teaming up with the Boys of Summer for the final playoff payoff sale. We're pushing for the playoffs, and you get the payoffs like 0% financing. Plus, no payments for 90 days. Plus, huge cash playoff payoffs of up to $3,000 on new 2024 F-150, Escape, Edge, Explorer, and Expedition. Plus, purchase or lease any new Ford and get 4 tickets to see the D-backs push for the playoffs. So score big now at America's most awarded Ford dealership, Sanderson Ford, and shop with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense during the Sanderson Ford Playoff Payoff Sale. Sanderson Ford is a proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
0% for 36 months OAC through Ford Motor Credit. Tickets while supplies last. Offers expire 9/3/24.
Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford.
Don't miss the Alan Parsons Live Project at the Celebrity Theater Sunday, August 18th. One of rock's most spectacular sonic and visual experiences. The Alan Parsons Live Project will take you on a journey like no other. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. The Alan Parsons Live Project, brought to you by Danny Zalisco Presents.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Yeah, could I have a number 3 with cheese and a large coffee?
Wolfing down your lunch. Serving up today's top sports stories with Wolf and Luke.
Man, does it smell good.
Brought to you by Aria Dental Implant Center. Locally owned and affordable dental implants.
All right, it is noonish on a Friday. Noonish because we got guests coming up at noon and noon 15, Wolf. So it is time for Wolfing Down Your Lunch right now. You good with that?
Yeah,
good.
I like the noon 15.
Noon 15?
That was cool.
Yeah.
Noon and noon 15. Interesting.
Aaron is here. How many times do you question why you're here, Aaron? Do you just look at us and be like, there's something else I could be doing?
I mean, the other day I did a full-on face palm. We were talking about Plugola, but,
Plugola.
If someone's going to bring down the show, it's going to be him, right?
Yeah.
Next.
Sounds like a hockey player in the minors from, 1974.
We all held our breath when we saw Yelda Froholt go down during Cards camp this week, and Cards head coach Jonathan Ganon provided an update yesterday.
Excited coming off a day off. Good 3 days here coming up. A couple guys got some nicks and bumps and bruises. Nobody's serious. So we'll get those guys back out there when they're ready to go. Yes, yep. But got good news on him, so we're good to go. Yeah.
So he's day-to-day now. Did the Cardinals dodge a bullet? Metaphorically speaking, he would have been one of the guys that would really have hurt if he went down.
Yeah, that would have been a real problem. You pointed this out the other day, Wolf. You probably just slide Evan over from left guard, but then that's already starting a ripple effect on your offensive line. You haven't even played a preseason game yet. Given the chemistry, I'm not saying that somebody else couldn't have that, but the chemistry Froholt and Kyler Murray seem to have, you want that between your center and your quarterback. Yeah. I would just prefer we leave the offensive line the way it is and not have guys go down and be hurt for a while.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I'm starting to hear and get a feel for Yelda Froholt, and this guy is a barbarian with a brain, okay? I mean, honestly, this is what I'm hearing. He's so cerebral, incredibly smart, Basinonians, genius smart, if you will, but he's got that Viking attitude where he's going to metaphorically pick up that battle axe and swing it. They can't afford to lose Yelda Froholt. So to me, this was great news.
We are one step closer to the Cardinals getting their preseason started, so will Marvin Harrison Jr. be treated differently than other rookies regarding preseason play? JG answered that yesterday.
No, I think he needs to get out there and play, but we'll make that decision when we got to make that decision. So we're taking it day by day right now. He's working on his game, ready to go on a Thursday.
So does Marvin Harrison Jr. want the reps?
Definitely. I remember going to college last year. Sometimes you don't really get to have those full speed game reps until the first game of the season. So I think it definitely benefit me a lot at this level.
Pads on
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I put a lot of pressure on myself. My standards for myself were very high. So I definitely get nervous before games.
Do you want to see Marvin Harrison Jr. play in the preseason?
Well, I tell you, he sounds. Everything with him has just kind of been like, yeah, whatever gets me more football. Like, yes, I want to. I mean, how many times have we heard him be like, yeah, in college we didn't get to do this enough. Let's get out there and do this. Yeah, I do, but probably not as much as you, Wolf. Like, I want to see every rookie get some reps so they're up to the game speed, and especially a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. who clearly wants to feel it and kind of be like, okay, I'm going to put this into the computer and process it out and be ready for week one. I just don't want to see him out there a lot. Yeah,
it's just my own personal opinion, Basinonians. It really is. I mean, there's not necessarily a right way or a wrong way to do it. To me, I just don't know why you wouldn't take a rookie and at least put him out there for 4 or 5 plays. Just put him out there. I mean, listen, if he's going to get hurt, he's going to get hurt. What are you going to do about it? Okay, stuff happens. At some point in time, these young guys have got to get reps in real situations. And to me, there's no risk putting him out there for 3, 4, 5 plays. Man, if he's going to get hurt, he's going to get hurt.
I'm with you on that. If you're putting him out there for like a series, if he's going to get hurt, he's going to get hurt. If you're playing him the full game, and then you're playing him the full game against the Colts, and then you're playing him the full game against Denver, you're playing with fire at that point.
I'm even saying if you're playing a kid a quarter, I've got no problem with it. Why not? If he's going to get hurt, he's going to get hurt.
The Arizona Diamondbacks kick off their road trip tonight at the Pittsburgh Pirates. So our Sanderson Ford poll question is up now at ArizonaSports.com, and it asks, which starting pitcher will do the best this weekend in Pittsburgh against the Pirates? Your choices are Brandon Pfaadt, Jordan Montgomery, or Ryan Nelson.
Well, I'm not voting for Jordan Montgomery based on what I've seen lately. So the answer might actually be Ryan Nelson, but I'm not ever going to vote against Brandon Pfaadt. So give me Pfaadt.
Yeah, I was going to go Brandon Pfaadt as well. You gotta fight for your right to party. Party! That's right.
Are we going to have to get Ryan Nelson a song, too?
Maybe.
I mean, the Brandon Pfaadt one was just kind of organic. Just going to happen.
Totally.
Yeah.
So easy.
Totally.
That was low-hanging fruit right there.
It was handed to us from the heavens.
So I will get you those results. You know, it's kind of loading right now.
Oh,
So
okay.
let me get you those results now. Loading.
Do you want us to talk some more?
Loading. Well, we'll move on. Okay, there
Just
we go.
hit the Brandon Pfaadt thing one more time.
You gotta fight, so you're right.
It's a party! Okay,
So
good.
76% agree with you both. They say Brandon Pfaadt,
Nice.
19% Ryan Nelson, and then 5% Jordan Montgomery.
See, I admire the optimism with the Jordan Montgomery answer.
Yeah.
The 5% that are voting. Like, I respect
I mean, if
that.
not now, when?
That's a great question, but the answer might be never, if not now then.
You know what I like about it, too? Brandon Pfaadt is getting a little nasty as well. This confidence right now, the swag that he's receiving this season, the confidence that I think he's showing with each outing, and he's got a little nasty going right now.
Kind of got lit up by the Pirates last time, too.
Yeah.
5 runs in 6 innings. That is lit up, actually. Be cool to see him bounce back.
Well, when you think about it, though, his last, 15 outings.
Yeah,
Really,
mostly just great.
It's a large sample size.
But he is facing the one team that kind of got to him.
Right.
Do you think we'll see Paul Sewald close a game this weekend? Or do you think we'll see Paul Sewald at all?
The more I hear from Torrey, the less likely I think it is that we're going to see him. I think he's probably going to give somebody else an opportunity to do it. And I think Luke has been on this thing. For me, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. I'd go one more time with Paul Sewald, but I think Luke has been on this thing, and you're right. At some point in time, he's going to put him in a low-leverage situation and hope he puts a 0 on.
Yeah, I would like to see him. I'd like to see him, like, on Sunday, pitch the 7th inning or the 6th inning or something. But do you want to see him closing a game tonight? Like, I
do want to
I know
see
you
it.
do. That was more directed towards Aaron and Jamal over there. Like, I don't necessarily want to see him running out there in the 9th inning tonight in a close game.
And then really quickly, Team USA basketball will play Puerto Rico tomorrow. So would another gold medal improve Katie's legacy? What do you guys think?
I don't think so. I mean, I get why he wants it, right? I mean, it's. I guess it improves his Olympic legacy to a certain extent, but I'm not going to look at Kevin Durant any differently if they win or don't.
Exactly right. I agree with what Luke just said right there, so I'll stop talking.
Wow. Look at this. I'm like 2 for 2 in the same segment. All right, when we come back, what has Dave Pasch been impressed by so far during Cardinals training camp? The voice of the Cardinals is waiting for us to end the segment so he can join us next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Who's on top in high school sports in Arizona and who's building up a powerhouse to unseat Arizona's best programs? Kevin McCabe talks with Arizona high school coaches and athletic staff Saturday mornings at 9 on AC Preps Live, presented by Brooklyn Betting. AC Preps Live Saturday morning at 9 on the local sports leader, Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, it's Gambo, and I'm back to tell you about BackFit Health and Spine. I'm here with my friend Earl, who was suffering from some really bad back pain, and he decided to check BackFit Health and Spine out for himself. What would you say to people out there that are listening right now that are saying, I just learned to live with it because nobody's been able to help me?
Absolutely. I would say go try BackFit. It's been a game changer.
9 locations in the Valley for BackFit Health and Spine. They take all major medical. Text BACK to 620-620, and we'll get you the location nearest you.
Message and data rates may apply.
Arthritis can be simply awful, bone on bone, constant pain, robbing you of so much of the stuff you love to do. Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and I've got some good news for you. There are now effective ways to deal with that pain, and I'm talking about cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief, and the place to go, QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, restore your mobility, and give you long-term relief. This is why they are called the future of medicine. So if you are living with chronic pain, you need to know steroids and surgery and pain pills no longer your only options. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are ready to help you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics now with clinics in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler, and you can reach them by calling 602-837-PAIN, 602-837-PAIN for QC Kinetics.
A secure retirement just doesn't happen by accident. When that day comes, what's most important to you? Are you sure to have more money than month? What about unexpected medical costs? Do you want to leave something to the kids or the grandkids? I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know we specialize in these questions and can help make your retirement dream a reality with some of the highest guarantees in the business. Imagine getting up to a guaranteed 12% growth on your retirement income and up to a 30% bonus up front just for opening an account. If you have funds sitting idle in an old 401k or IRA, consider guaranteeing it to secure the peace of mind you deserve. Don't leave your financial security to chance. Take advantage of the highest guarantees I've seen in my career. Call Trajan today at 480-990-3300. That's 480-990-3300. Or visit us online at TrajanWealth.com.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
This summer, get away in the Hyundai you've always wanted at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get the hottest deals of the season on many of our award-winning Hyundai models, which all come with America's best warranty. But get going, because these deals won't last. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now for a limited time, get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson or Elantra. Hurry into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end September 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, this is Ron Wolfley.
And Luke Lipinski.
We're here to talk about one of the most important issues affecting our community. Every year, we hear far too many heartbreaking stories involving children and water.
Please take 2 seconds out of your day to help prevent these tragedies. Learn about important water safety tips and enter to win swim lessons from the YMCA.
Go to Fulton2seconds.com or text SWIM to 620-620.
And never forget that 2 seconds is too long to take your eyes off your kids near water.
This is Doug Fulton of Fulton Homes, proud to partner with KTAR to keep your kids safe around water.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
I'm Jesse Morrison with the latest from the Arizona Sports Desk, presented by Parker & Sons, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. After a day off yesterday, the Arizona Diamondbacks are back on the field today. They play the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Brandon Pfaadt starts for the Snakes, while Luis L. Ortiz starts for the Bucks. First pitch is at 3:40 with pregame coverage starting at 3 right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. And the Olympics are continuing on from Paris. Sun Devil swimming legend Leon Marchand just took his 4th gold of the Games in the men's 200 IM final. The latest is brought to you by Waste Connections of Arizona. Score big this football season with Waste Connections roll-off services. Perfect for any cleanup, large or small. Waste Connections, they want your trash.
Players begin camp. Only 53 can make the roster when the regular season begins.
It's Cardinals head coach Jonathan Ganon, and you're listening to Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Cards Camp live from the farm. Wolf and Luke coming your way with training camp coverage presented by Bud Light.
Hour number 3 live here from State Farm Stadium. Wolf and Luke, and now Dave Pasch, too. Dave Pasch is joining us up here on the concourse. Dave, what's going on, man?
Well, Luke, I was asked to come on the show yesterday, so I figured we would just be talking football, but I have to start with what I found in my basement yesterday as I was going through some of my old Topps trading cards. I found a Ken O'Brien, Dan Marino, John Elway, Todd Blackledge, 1983 rookie card. I'm going through like second year, third year. And then I find this card, and it's in pristine condition. It's a Ron Wolfley Topps trading card. I took the others and was able to sell each for about, $100.
Okay.
Joking.
Yeah, right.
Not being real. But Wolf's card, somebody offered me 10 cents, and I thought,
and that was Wolf.
I think if I give it to Wolf and he signs it, it could go up to 11 cents. So here you go.
Get you a cup of coffee.
Wow, look at
David,
that.
thank you very much for that. Look, everybody, it's a Topps Ron Wolfley card.
Wolf, you're on a run here with
you.
these.
I
You put together a
appreciate
complete
that.
set of Wolf cards.
Really?
Yeah.
This has happened before?
Randomly.
Oh, yeah, Mel. Thank you, Mel. Appreciate it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Aaron,
I didn't realize you had other ones. I just figured this might be the only one in existence.
Oh, my goodness. David, how are you doing?
Wolf, I'm great. How are you? Are you fired up yet for football?
I am, as a matter of fact, because the pads are going on, and the pads mean that people are hitting each other, of course. Today, David, I think is going to be one of the most physical, if not the most physical practices they'll have all training camp right here today.
He has been so fired up. It's now been dubbed a physical fur flying Friday at the farm.
That's
where
right.
we are.
Well done.
Wolf, yeah.
The alliteration.
We're adding more words every 2 segments.
I think there's going to be some live situations out on the field today, and that is always very intriguing to me. It's the best days when you've got live. We'll do it live, and that typically means tackling to the ground, blocking to the ground, everything you could possibly imagine with a little one-on-one pass protection where you got offensive linemen going against defensive linemen. We'll do it live. Can't wait to see it.
Dave, has anything in the first week and a half of camp, has anything stood out to you that, okay, maybe that answered a question that I had coming into camp, or is it still too early for that?
Yeah, not really, Luke. I think it is too early. It's so hard to really gauge. It feels like it's getting more and more difficult to truly get a sense of what's going on and who's going to play and who's not. I have to think that there's a sense of, okay, we have an idea probably about 2/3 of the roster, maybe more than that. And then you have a number of guys that you want to see in live game action and in pads. These are the days, obviously, they're probably going to evaluate even more so. Now, if you're a quarterback, you're being evaluated with everything, your mental reps, all that. But, if you're a pass rusher, if you're a linebacker, these are the days you're probably, looked at and scrutinized a little bit more. But I think once we get going with preseason games, now that we've seen it with the Hall of Fame game yesterday, or part of the Hall of Fame game with the kickoff rule, and we have the officials today coming to tell us a little bit more about that. I think once we see that and how coaches are going to attack that and what type of special teams players they're looking for, we'll have a better idea of who's really in the mix at the bottom of the roster.
You know what's amazing, David, about that? Just watching the game last night, I thought the kickoff cover teams did a lot better than what I had imagined. I thought, again, going into it, the kickoff return team, it was really set up for them to go ahead and pop a couple of nice runs, but that was not the case. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that evolves right now. Talk to me about game reps for rookies and where you are, especially when you're talking about Darius Robinson and Marvin Harrison Jr.
I think Marvin Harrison Jr., everything we've seen so far is everything we saw at Ohio State. It's, this guy is a pro. He's been a pro. He's been a pro in a college body the last couple of years. I think mentally he's there. When you've been brought up in a professional environment your whole life, you have an advantage there. So I think this is an easy transition for him. I'm not worried about him at all. Honestly, I haven't really thought about it much. Every time I watch him, I'm like, yeah, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. It's expected. And maybe I shouldn't do that because he's a rookie, but I would just be surprised at this point if he's anything other than productive early. Darius Robinson, look, he's a beast. And I did that bowl game, the Cotton Bowl, Ohio State, Missouri. Marvin didn't play, but Darius played. I remember leading up to that, there was a lot of talk about how good he was, and you could see it in the game. And I think he could be a difference maker. Max Melton's another guy, continue to watch, but that's also a position of need, kind of like where Darius is. And so I think you're going to see both those guys playing a lot this year.
Yeah, Dave Pasch is joining us. Max Melton was actually the next guy I was going to ask you about, or just that position in general. What have you seen from Max? Has he started to pop yet, or are you confident that they're going to be able to be okay at corner? Because when we look for things that could potentially be obstacles, that's one of the first one that jumps out.
I think it's still to be determined. Garrett Williams now healthy and being ready to go early. I think he's probably somebody we're not talking about enough as a nickel. Very important to the defense. I just think about, I'm not comparing Max Melton to Sauce Gardner, but I remember how good Sauce Gardner was at Cincinnati.
Wow.
And they went to a playoff game, and they were good. Desmond Ridder was a quarterback, but he goes to the Jets, and now they had other good players, but their defense totally changes when he gets there. I'm not saying that's Max Melton, but if you have a guy that's half as good as Sauce Gardner, I think he can help your defense. I think Max Melton's much better than that. I think, again, I may have mentioned this with you guys when I was on last week. Greg Schiano has a pretty good track record with guys going to the NFL. And
he's a good coach, David.
He's a really good coach. And, his position coach has always, as a position coach, he's always been DBs. So I think Max Melton, I think he's going to surprise people. I think he's going to be really good.
Nice.
So, David, in the evolution of Kyler Murray as a player, what do you want to see next? Where do you think he can take that next step?
Wolf, I don't know, man. I think it's the consistency game to game.
Yeah.
I think we'll really know where he is when we see the consistency game to game. Because there's going to be adversity. There's going to be adversity early in games. How does he handle that? How does he handle people at his feet? I know he did last year fine in the 8 games he played, but when he takes a shot, when there's a mistake, when a mental error by an offensive lineman or a receiver, and there's a pick, how does he bounce back from that? I mean, those are the things when you evaluate the great quarterbacks, those are the things you're looking for. Consistency game to game, how you handle adversity. He has everything else. And I think he's really grown as a leader. I was talking to Monty Ossenfort, just chatting on the field last week, and I said, did Kyler do everything you asked him to do? He says, absolutely. And I don't think he would have just said that. I think he absolutely meant it when he said absolutely, meaning in terms of, hey, this is what we need. Early last year when they started the conversations about you stepping up as the leader of this team, the face of this franchise, this is what we need from you. And that's wide-ranging. And he's done all of it. That means he's done everything he can do to put himself in the best position to go out there and be a superstar, which he is certainly capable of.
We're talking to Dave Pasch. It's interesting you say that, too, because when we had Monty on earlier this week, he said something similar to that. Not identical, but basically I can't speak to who he was or what he was before I got here, but since I got here, he's been everything that we've asked of him. When you look at this defense, Dave, we've talked a lot about Mack Wilson and Kaiser White on the show, and we had Kaiser White spoke earlier this week. That's something that, at least for me, I've been focusing in on those two in the middle of the defense, just because I feel like they might not be going to the Pro Bowl. Who knows? Maybe they will, but it just feels like those are two guys that could do a lot of damage in the middle of your defense.
I agree, because you've got two physical guys, and you think about what the Cardinals had prior to that. Isaiah Simmons wasn't really physical. You tried him at that position. Zaven Collins, I still think has a chance to be a good NFL player. Don't want to write him off at all. And maybe at some point, he goes back there, but I think right now the vision is for him to be on the outside. But, those two guys, there's a makeup. I mean, Wolf, tell me if you disagree, but it seems like those two guys have the mentality that you need to play that position and be physical. And it feels like it's been a while since the Cardinals have had two guys in there that are capable of really being physical.
Is there somebody, David, you're locked on to right now, somebody that is a second-year player, a younger guy? The jump, of course, from being a rookie to a second year is massive.
Yeah.
It really is how much better a guy can get. Is there somebody in that rookie class from 2023 that you've noticed so far making that jump?
Two guys, one on offense, one on defense, The one on offense probably doesn't surprise you, Michael Wilson.
Yes.
He last year, being a third-round pick, battling injury, but coming back from that, and actually, he started well. There was a patch there where we didn't hear from him much. Then he had some injuries, and then started to ascend at the end of the year. I think that's a positive. I think with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride becoming one of the better receiving tight ends in the league, hopefully, and the running game and Kyler continuing to grow, I think he's poised for a big year. And then B.J. Ojulari, who, again, with injuries and everything, he put on some weight. I mean, he looks like I think he relied so much on his speed in the past. I think there's a little bit more physicality to him now. And, again, I know people look at the Cardinals roster and they say, well, where's that dynamic edge guy? He's a second-round pick. It's not like he was an undrafted guy that you're just hoping and praying that somehow he'll get you 3 sacks or whatever. It's a second-round pick. So the expectation is you're a second-round pick at that position. You're a 7-8 sack a year guy. That's a lot. Yeah. And maybe it's more than that. So I'm pretty bullish on him.
Dave, we appreciate this as always. Thanks for boosting my co-host's ego with that card too that you said was worth 10 cents.
I think 11 if he signs it.
Okay.
I really do.
He hasn't
maybe
been signing.
12.
Yeah,
Get you a cup of coffee.
All right.
It's Dave Pasch joining us right there. When we come back, what does Jonah Williams hope to bring to the Cardinals offensive line this year? We're going to ask the Cardinals right tackle. He'll join us next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Without cream.
The Cardinals have begun doing this and this. Practice is open to the public, and Arizona Sports is there with Wolf and Luke and Burns and Gambo, bringing you the sights and sounds from Cardinals training camp. Training camp coverage presented by Bud Light. Get more of this, and this from the Cardinals and Arizona Sports on 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
All right, Basinonians, Ron Wolf here from my brothers over at Aria Dental Implant Center. Go to ariadentalimplantcenter.com right now. Man, I have had the all-on-4 dental implant, Basinonians. It is a life changer. It's a big deal. It's a game changer, man. That's what I'll say about it right now. You want to smile for pictures, and you want to, to show your teeth. A nice, friendly smile, of course. That's kind of cool right there. Or maybe you want to bite into a burger, man. Oh, did I miss biting into a burger right there? Well, you know what? The All-On-4 will help you, ladies and gentlemen. You can have a brand new set of beautiful teeth in 24 hours after surgery. The All-On-4 will give you the closest option to your natural teeth, man. Aria will save you thousands and thousands of dollars compared to the corporate dental implant centers that are out there. They're locally owned and operated, and they pass the savings on to their patients. Go to ariadentalimplantcenter.com. That's ARIA dentalimplantcenter.com.
Celebrate Faith and Family Night at Chase Field on Friday, August 9th, when the D-backs take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Stick around for a post-game concert with Casting Crowns presented by Chick-fil-A. For tickets, visit dbacks.com/faith.
Dan Bickley here with my guy, Shane O'Hanrahan. And Shane, you've got an all-star staff of people who want to work at Chapman BMW. What makes your brand so special?
Well, Dan, we're a family-owned business that does things the right way. We have a great product in BMW. As a matter of fact, Consumer Reports ranks our vehicles #1 in reliability for the past 2 years. And it's true what they say, we make luxury attainable. So come down, take a look. You will be surprised.
You can shop online at ChapmanBMW.com. That's Chapman BMW. 2 great locations.
1 great experience.
Are you dealing with a back issue and don't know what to do or who to call? Greg Schulte here, and I've got your answer. Call Desert Institute for Spine Care, a.k.a. DISC. Disc surgeons treat a variety of different spine conditions, such as herniated disc, sciatica, spinal stenosis, and degenerative disc disease. DISC is known for its minimally invasive surgical solutions, believing that using at least invasive yet most effective treatments is the best way for their patients to restore, revitalize, and rejuvenate their active lifestyles. And DISC is so good at taking extra time with patients to help understand their pain and how it's affecting their everyday life. Several years ago, DISC took care of my herniated disc issue, and I've been pain-free ever since. I trusted them, and I hope you'll place your trust in the DISC surgeons to help you get through your back issue. Text SPINE to 620-620 or visit sciatica.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
This summer will be heating up as the Arizona Diamondbacks look to repeat as NL champions and bring home that World Series title. Man, is it fun watching these D-backs play. The Gold Glove defense, the speed on the base paths, and the newfound power in the lineup. You don't want to miss any of the action, but if you're struggling with your vision, you're probably doing a lot more listening than watching. But we can change that. Dr. Jay Schwartz has been the team ophthalmologist for the D-backs since 2002, and he's ready to help you see the game the way you're intended to. If you're nearsighted, farsighted, or having astigmatism, it's very likely a vision correction procedure from the Schwartz Laser Eye Center that may be right from you. Dr. Schwartz offers a free LASIK evaluation and 2 years of interest-free financing. And he's got 3 locations in the Valley, Glendale, Scottsdale, and Mesa. Trust me, I had LASIK surgery from the Schwartz Laser Eye Center about 15 years ago, and at age 57, I don't wear any glasses, contacts, or readers. One of the best things I've ever done. So if you want to reduce or even eliminate your need of glasses and contacts, call 480-483-EYES for your free LASIK evaluation or go online at tmidoc.com.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Training camp coverage presented by Bud Light.
Wolf and Luke chop it up on Cardinals training camp. Now.
All right, welcome back to the show. If you want to see the 2024 Cardinals in person at State Farm Stadium, a limited number of tickets remain. For more information, visit azcardinals.com/tickets. We are pleased to be joined up here by Cardinals offensive lineman Jonah Williams. Jonah, thanks so much for the time, man. How's camp treating you so far?
It's good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to this. All right, so this is your first year here, right? You get to kind of settle in. I know you're only a week and a half into camp, but what are your early impressions of this team? Because I can tell you last year it felt like almost everybody was new, and now it's like half the guys are new.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's been good so far. I enjoy my teammates. I enjoy the coaches. I enjoy, the way we've been doing training camp so far. And, it's been a lot of good competition. I think we have, guys like you said who were probably new last year who are more comfortable in their roles now. Everyone seems to be playing pretty fast, not a lot of mental errors. And, it's been good so far.
Jonah, listen, I was a fullback for 10 years in the National Football League, okay? And every time I'm around an offensive lineman, I've got to ask him this question, so don't be offended by this. What's your weight at right now?
About 315.
Okay, 315.
Yeah.
Okay, where do you want to be?
Around that 315 range. I try to show up to camp a little heavy, so I'll be a little above that because it's, once you start getting into it, you start losing weight. I'm losing 8 pounds a day and then gaining it back. Typical training camp.
So 315, that's where you want to actually stay. I like that. That's really, really good right here. How's training camp going for you right now, Jonah?
It's good. I think that early in training camp, there's always a little bit of rust. You start getting your techniques down by the end of OTAs, and then, you go try to do it on your own for 6 weeks when we're gone. A lot of lifting, a lot of training, but it's different when you're out there going against real pass rushers and all that stuff. But I feel like I'm getting there. My technique's getting better, and, I feel like I'm in a good spot.
We're talking to Jonah Williams. Jonah, you said, not a lot of mental errors out there. From where we're sitting, it looks very just efficient and business-like. Now, I know it's training camp, but I feel like I've watched some training camps in the past where maybe it wasn't as efficient and business-like. Is that kind of what the sense is on the field, too?
Yeah, I mean, it's 22 people moving, and it has to be perfect. There's a lot of moving parts, and like I said, I think that part's been good, and that's good because at this point in training camp, if you can hammer down the mental stuff and make sure you're not making errors, and you can just build on the technique and build on all the little details that end up making the difference in such a parity league.
Yeah.
So, Jonah, why the Arizona Cardinals? When you were outside there and you were looking at the possibilities that were out there, why the Arizona Cardinals?
Well, the first thing is I love the feeling of being on kind of a team on the up and up. And I was fortunate to experience that in Cincinnati. We started off really bad and made a couple of good drafts and a couple of good, free agent acquisitions and started to, really, really elevate. And I get a lot of that same feeling here. I love what JG's bringing to the coaching staff. I love Clayton, my O-line coach, and I think we have a lot of talent. When I look around, I see that talent, and I see a lot of young guys that are, taking steps forward. And so that's an exciting thing to be a part of, on top of, being a great city to live in and, good place to raise my daughter.
Yeah.
Playing with Joe Burrow and Jake Browning a lot last year, but specifically Burrow versus Kyler, they certainly seem like they'd be very different quarterbacks. But blocking for them, do you see similarities?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they are very different quarterbacks, but they're both very accurate, and I think that's the most important thing. They put the ball where they need to, and I'm pretty occupied with a D lineman in my face, but when I'm watching the film, it's really impressive to see Kyler, throw guys open. If maybe there's tight coverage, but he throws it, into a certain window where only they can get it. I've been really impressed by that. His release is really quick, and he's really accurate. So, we don't obviously let anyone touch Kyler in general. Yeah. Try not to, but I'll be excited to see how he is in a game situation, just how elusive he is, and the elements that adds to an offense.
So, Jonah, you've played right tackle and left tackle. Very interesting. Do you have a preference?
I like them both. I like them both for different reasons, but I got really comfortable playing right tackle last year. So coming in, I was, willing to do whatever they wanted me to do. But I feel comfortable on the right side still, and there's certain things I like about playing on the right side better, and so I'm trying to maximize that element of my game.
Can you compare and contrast what it's like playing right tackle and left tackle and how different it is? Are you right-handed naturally?
Yeah, I'm right-handed and right-footed. And playing left tackle, there's a benefit to that because often you're carrying a lot of weight on your inside foot,
right?
Which on the left is my right foot, and inside hand. So on the right side, it's kind of the opposite, and so your kick foot and your outside hand are my dominant hands. So I'm trying to incorporate that in my game more, being less inside hand dominant, more outside hand, which has its perks and it has other things that I need to kind of hedge myself on.
It's more difficult than most people would imagine, though, correct? Going from right tackle to left tackle or vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, it's like trying to write an essay with your non-dominant hand.
Right.
It feels really weird. Your handwriting's going to be really bad. But, yeah, I've gotten accustomed to it, and I'm enjoying the right side.
What do you think, just your early impressions of this offensive line? Because, now you're here. Some of the guys were here last year, but then you've also that left guard spot. Seems like it's at least open, or it's a competition, and chances are whoever wins it probably is somebody who wasn't here last year either. So just your early impressions of the guys up front.
I mean, great guys, smart guys. We've been pretty good on our assignments and communication and all those things, which early in camp, sometimes that's sort of a place where some teams struggle. But I think it's been a strength for us. And so we have a lot of talent, and we know what we're doing. The big thing is that we just have to continue to gel, work together, work in combination, and that's why we're out here practicing. That's the only way we can get better at it.
Jonah, power scheme, gap scheme, or zone scheme? What do you like?
There's perks to everything. I think with my particular build, I like to be more athletic, more wide zone type deals, but I think a good thing about our offense and watching our offense and learning our offense is that we're very variable in the run game. We're able to do a lot.
For people that are listening right now, tell them why that is so important, that you are variable.
It puts a lot of pressure on defenses. If you're a linebacker and you see a guard pulling, sometimes if it's a team that just runs heavy power counter, then you can come in and fill that B gap quickly. But if we're running play action out of it, or if we're doing that, and there's other things going on, or if it's a G scheme, pin and pull, that type of stuff, it's all very different for those guys to read. And if you're a D lineman taking on these blocks, you don't want to be able to, we have the advantage of knowing the play and the snap count.
That's right.
And if they can take that away from us, it puts us in a tough spot. So some plays they might be taking on a double team with, me and Big Will.
That's right.
And then other plays they're going to have to be running full speed to the side to try to outrun, James Conner while we're blocking them, and that becomes difficult for D lines.
You played in Cincinnati, and Ja'Marr Chase was there, and that's a guy that keeps coming up on the show of, are we expecting too much of Marvin Harrison Jr. stepping in as a rookie? I know you haven't seen him play in a game yet because he hasn't played in a game yet, but just in terms of, what was your impression of what made Ja'Marr Chase so good at such a young age at that position? And do you think Marv has a chance to do that?
Yeah, I mean, he's extremely talented, both extremely talented guys. I think Jamar's best quality is his ability to create separation. He just has that little bit. Everyone out there is running, 4.4s, but he just has a little bit of that extra gear that lets him pull away. And like we said, Joe and Kyler are both very accurate, and they can put the ball on him if he can do that. I don't want to setting expectations or anything like that, but my experience in Cincinnati was that Jamar had a couple of drops and things like that in preseason games, and everyone got really down on him and was saying, you know, all this crazy stuff about him. Then he comes out and is one of the best receivers in the game. So, you know, I hope Marvin hits the field and is already one of the best receivers in the game. But, you know, I just encourage everyone to give him a little bit of time. We see him out there and he's a freak and he's making a lot of big plays, but you know, the NFL's hard and it always takes a little time to get used to it.
The bar has been set absurdly high for him already.
Yeah, I'm
There's really not a whole lot he can do. Jonah, thanks so much. I know you got practice coming up, but we appreciate the time, man.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot. That's Jonah Williams joining us up here.
Jonah.
Have you subscribed to the Wolf and Luke Show podcast? Subscribe right now on your iPhone or Android. You'll never miss any of the show. It's the Wolf and Luke Show podcast brought to you by FanDuel. When we come back, how has training camp gone for Marv so far? He told the media yesterday. We'll get you what he said next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
When we feel divided, we look to something that can bring us together. It's time to do something powerful and meaningful for kids who need your help. The Give-a-thon for Phoenix Children's begins Monday, August 12th. Keep listening to hear how you can make a difference for Arizona kids and families.
Become a champion of hope and help the kids at Phoenix Children's.
The Give-a-thon is presented by Your Valley Hyundai dealers and Ak-Chin Indian Community.
Hi, I'm Don Barano, Division President of Mattamy Homes. We are honored to be the Stories of Hope sponsor for the Phoenix Children's Give-a-thon. Your donations fund essential research, advanced clinical programs, cutting-edge equipment, and family-focused services, ensuring top-tier care. By supporting, you help expand specialized children's care in Arizona. Call 602-933-4567 or text GIVE to 620-620. The children at PCH need our help now more than ever.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hey Cardinals fans, are you ready for football season? It's time to root for our Redbirds. Bud Light was brewed to be a delicious and easy to drink beer, even when the little things in life are hard, like when the game is going into overtime. But you have even more time to enjoy it with a fresh Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to Sunday. Pick up Bud Light at your local retailer today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Bud Light is a proud partner of the Arizona Cardinals.
Go for the gold this summer with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Follow along with all your favorite international teams in all your favorite sports. From basketball to badminton and soccer to swimming, FanDuel has it all. For more, check out FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Make every moment more with FanDuel.
21 plus and present in Arizona. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
In this Arizona heat, hopefully your air conditioning at home is doing its job, but if it goes out, call Parker & Sons. They have been serving the Valley for 50 years, and they were just voted #1 by consumers in Ranking Arizona for the 15th year in a row. That's because when you have an emergency, Parker & Sons sends a pro your way in minutes, not days, and they will never charge you extra during nights, weekends, or holidays. So for all things heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical, call Parker & Sons at 602-2REPAIR.
We're a 2 Ford family. Yep, Paul Calvisi here. In fact, Ford has been part of our family for generations. Built Ford proud dates back more than a century in this country, and the future, it is here at our Desert Ford dealers. Like those F-Series trucks, built Ford tough, and the all-new 2024 F-150 with the all-new interior and exterior is designed to be the most rugged, dependable, and productive ever. No workbench, no outlet, no problem. With Pro Power on on board in that convenient work service, the F-150 has you covered. SUVs, there's the Ford Bronco Sport with 5 available trims, the Ford Explorer with all the advanced tech, plus 3-row seating that folds down for tons of cargo room. And you gotta love how there's a powertrain for everyone. Gas, hybrid, electric, like that 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E. 100% electric, 100% SUV with sports car performance and 0 tailpipe emissions. Bottom line, get to our Desert Ford dealers and see how a new Ford fits your future at buyfordnow.com.
I'm Jesse Morrison with the latest from the Arizona Sports Desk, presented by Parker & Sons, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. After a day off yesterday, the Arizona Diamondbacks are back on the field today. They play the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Brandon Pfaadt starts for the Snakes, while Luis L. Ortiz starts for the Bucks. First pitch is at 3:40 with pregame coverage starting at 3 right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. Who the D-backs closer will be this weekend is a major question in entering this series, as Paul Sewald has struggled as of late. Make sure to tune in to Burns and Gambo at 2:30 as they will ask skipper Torey Lovello that very question. And the Olympics are continuing on from Paris. Sun Devil swimming legend Leon Marchand just took his 4th gold of the games in the men's 200 IM final. The latest is brought to you by Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. Diversify your portfolio. Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax uses multiple money managers to spread the risk. Claim your free portfolio review today. AssetPreservationWealth.com.
It's easier not to be
Training camp coverage presented by Bud Light.
Wolf and Luke talking Cardinals camp now.
Wolf, how much would you pay to have that hit sound right there remixed into the start of every song?
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
I was like, I don't remember that part of this live song, but maybe I never listened closely enough. I don't know. All right, thanks to Jonah Williams for joining us. It's the first time I got to talk to him. He was good.
Very cool, man. Yeah. First time I've met him as well.
Interesting to talk to a guy that played in Cincinnati, too, because how many times have you brought up, well, here we go.
Well, just punch it! And do it without your spectacles, ladies and gentlemen. You can't really thrash at all when you've got bifocals on, right?
You can for 1 second,
Just
and then they'll fly off. Interesting, though, because just how many times you've brought up Jamar Chase as sort of like the standard if you're going to step in as a rookie at that position and be good. So it was interesting to hear his comparison between Marv and Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
And since we're speaking about Marv, and why wouldn't we be talking about Marv, he spoke yesterday, and the media got a chance to ask him questions. They asked him a lot, Wolf, so I'm going to fire some of these off, okay?
Cool.
Starting with, why are you catching a rugby ball at practice?
Yeah, shout out to Zach Pascal for that. It was kind of his idea. Back in college, we had a basketball. So I'm just trying to catch a bigger object, opens up your hands a little bit more, and then once you get the football feels real small. So that's kind of the thought process behind that.
Man, you know what? I don't know if the logic there is sound, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because, okay, that was the problem with me. Bigger would have been better.
Wolf was catching basketballs in games.
Yeah, bigger would have been better. You know what I mean? They're smaller. Trying to actually catch that thing with that point, that was very, very difficult for me personally.
Yeah. You know what, honestly? What you're saying logically would make sense. If it wasn't Marvin Harrison Jr. saying
right,
it,
exactly.
I'd be like, this guy doesn't. But
he's got to know something.
He's so methodical, and he has such a reason behind everything. He's methodical Marv. That's really what he is. Everything he does is there's a reason for it. It's not enough to just go out there and run the patterns and catch a football. He's we've seen it. And he's got a lot that he does leading up to practice. They asked him about training camp.
Good. So far, so good. A lot different in college. I kind of like this one a little bit more. JG does a great job taking care of us. I'm enjoying being around the guys and being around the coaches, spending time with them. It's been great.
He also added that training camp, at least so far, is less taxing.
It's less taxing on the body, surprisingly. I think in college you go about 5 straight days of just all work. Here we kind of have a different schedule, and I really appreciate that because this is a much longer NFL schedule in college. So, best ability is availability.
There it is right there. The best ability is availability.
He always throws some
Notice
wisdom
how he
in
said it so beautifully as well.
At the end of every quote, he's like, and by the way, here's a lesson. The best ability is availability. That's why he said it and I didn't.
Yeah.
I would have been up there for 5 minutes. Wait, now hold on. Which one is it?
I'll guarantee you, Luke, that his dad said that to him as well.
Yeah. I've never.
Little advice.
His dad, I mean, he played all the time, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it was just Peyton Manning to Marvin Harrison for the longest time. I've never met or spoken to Marvin Harrison Sr. We've had Marvin Harrison Jr. on the show, but I've never spoken to Marvin Harrison Sr. I'm guessing a lot of the stuff that Marvin Harrison Jr. believes or says or, ways he approaches the game came from Marvin Harrison Sr. Doesn't it seem like it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's been around a long, long time, of course, because of his father. He's been in the pro game since he's been a child. Stop and think about that. He's been in it. And that's, when I say in it, I'm talking about, man, Marvin Harrison Sr. used to take him to practices.
Yeah. Practice,
man. He's been around it for a long time.
If only we had ever had another receiver here that grew up around the sport at the NFL level.
Yeah,
it was maybe like a ball boy in Minnesota or something like that.
What are you doing, Fitz? Fitzy, give us a call, too. Will you please?
Just go ahead and call in. I'm sure Larry Fitzgerald's driving around right now. He's not in a different country, and he's like, if they would just ask me to call, I'd call in.
Fitzy, the bat signal, please.
Okay. Does that bat signal work?
Yeah.
Okay. More from Marvin Harrison Jr. He was asked about the pace of the game changing from college to the NFL.
I think the players react a lot quicker in this game because they're a little bit smarter than at the college level. I will say, seeing Buddha fly across the field is a little different than what I'm used to, just how he goes out there and makes plays. But it's been a joy to watch the defense and the offense battle back and forth.
Yeah.
I love that quote.
What do you love about
I like that of okay, so far, everything just Marv always seems to be in control, always, and he still does, right?
Yeah, right.
But that wasn't the typical cliched answer of well, the game's going to move faster here, and I'm going to have to just no, I think I've got to, but Buddha seems a little different.
Yeah.
Who is this Buddha guy that just runs faster than everybody? So you're saying right there,
Marv actually geeked out a little bit.
That just
he kind of geeked out.
I thought that was a good human example.
Right, very human.
No matter how good you are, you didn't see NFL Buddha in college.
Yeah, you stop and think about when Buddha Baker broke into the league. What was Marv? He's 14, 15, somewhere in there. Those are really formative years right there, of course. And you're watching Buddha Baker go out there. And by the way, you're practicing with Buddha Baker now, man.
Against him.
I can totally relate to all of that, of course. The NFL experience is real.
More on the pace. There was a follow-up question to how that impacts him specifically as a wide receiver.
You kind of have to react a little quicker, recognize coverage a little quicker, make sure you're running the right route, get to the right spot for a quarterback. And I think that's probably the biggest difference there.
Is that why you want to play in the preseason?
No, I just like to go out there and compete. I just like to compete, like to play football. That's what I love to do. So I take advantage of those opportunities.
I love the fact he wants to play Macedonians. I do. That is a big deal to me right there. I love the fact he wants to play in a preseason game. Again, I'm going to run him out there for a series. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run him out there for a series, and guess what? If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. But the one thing I'm not going to do is protect him oh, man, you can't. You're so brittle. You can't go out there and actually have 5 reps. 5. You can't get him 5 reps in every game or maybe even more. I mean, to me, you can be too cautious with a young guy when he's got to develop. He's got to get these live reps in games.
More from Marv, how many release moves he has to get free. Actually, you know what? Before I play that one, this matchup, potentially him versus Max Melton, has quickly emerged as the one I want to see in camp.
Well, today is going to be the day you might want to watch it.
So here he is talking. Here's Marv on Max Melton.
Yeah, obviously I played Max 2 times in college, and I always respected his game. Thought he was a great player. Always one of the hardest corners I had to go against, especially in the Big Ten, to go out there and compete with him each and every single day, never making each other better.
So that last thing he said, Wolf, how real is that at the NFL level? We expect Marv to be great. It would be nice if Max Melton was great too. How much will be going up against Marv in practice every day help Max Melton, and vice versa?
Yeah, you know what? Iron sharpens iron, right? You've heard that old expression right there, and it's so true. It really is. two guys coming in the same draft class as well. That is awesome. They're going to have a lot of time and a lot of exposure to each other over the years, so it does matter, Luke.
Now, here's Marv talking about the release moves.
Yeah, I think it probably starts with game plan, depending on who I'm going against for that week. I always have my base releases that I can always go to, that I feel comfortable with. There's not really a number to them because you kind of just out there feeling for it, and then kind of have your counter moves off of everything. So I can't give you an exact number, but I think it starts with game plan and talking with Drew, see what he sees on film as well, and you kind of go from there.
Details is what his father was all about, Marvin Harrison Sr. Details. That offense, when you think of Peyton Manning and you think of Reggie Wayne and you think of Marvin Harrison Sr., of course, and you think of Edgerrin James and Marcus Powell, the stud tight end, and Dallas Clark, the H, the move tight end, if you will. When you think of those guys, Basinonians, they would line up in the exact same personnel group. That personnel group that I just read off to you would line up, and they would get into the same formation the vast majority of the time. And many times it was with Reggie Wayne on the right side of the field or the left side of the field and Marvin Harrison on the right side of the field. They would do it over and over. They wouldn't move these guys. They would not do it. And yet they would run plays. Peyton Manning would call every play at the line of scrimmage, and they would rep it out and tore up the NFL doing just that. Why? Because of the details. The details, they knew exactly what every adjustment was going to be. Reggie Wayne knew what his adjustment was going to be. Marvin Harrison Sr. knew what his adjustment. Details are so important in that offense. And it's interesting to hear him talking about the details.
Yeah, imagine not having attention to detail and being Peyton Manning's wide receiver.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like that wouldn't go very well. All right, we come back over to basketball. Phoenix Suns pulled off one of the more remarkable moves of this offseason by getting Tyus Jones here when they only had the minimum to offer. So how did they pull that off? Might have gotten our answer. That's next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
This afternoon at 2:30, Burns and Gambo talk Diamondbacks baseball with D-backs manager Torey Lovello. Brought to you by Estrella Jalisco. Don't miss Burns and Gambo with the skipper. 2:30 this afternoon. Listen on the Arizona Sports app at 98.7.
Hi, this is Luis Gonzalez. The Sanderson Ford Summer Sale event is teaming up with the Boys of Summer for the final playoff payoff sale. We're pushing for the playoffs, and you get the payoffs like 0% financing. Plus, no payments for 90 days. Plus, huge cash playoff payoffs of up to $3,000 on new 2024 F-150, Escape, Edge, Explorer, and Expedition. Plus, purchase or lease any new Ford and get 4 tickets to see the D-backs push for the playoffs. So score big now at America's most awarded Ford dealership, Sanderson Ford, and shop with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense during the Sanderson Ford Playoff Payoff Sale. Sanderson Ford is a proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
0% for 36 months OAC through Ford Motor Credit. Tickets while supplies last. Offers expire 9/3/24.
Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com. Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Trying to fight the Arizona sun all day, working outside, or trying to sneak in a workout after putting in a full day at the office can leave you dehydrated and fatigued, and I have found a product that checks all the boxes for my life, and I'm sharing it with you. Hydrate and recover from Wilderness Athlete. Dave Burns here, low in sugar, high in electrolytes, amino acids, and super convenient with the individual packets. Say goodbye to post-workout struggles and hello to optimal muscle repair. Get yours today at wildernessathlete.com. Use keyword Burns at checkout for an extra 20% off.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
Nope.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
A secure retirement just doesn't happen by accident. When that day comes, what's most important to you? Are you sure to have more money than month? What about unexpected medical costs? Do you want to leave something to the kids or the grandkids? I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know we specialize in these questions and can help make your retirement dream a reality with some of the highest guarantees in the business. Imagine getting up to a guaranteed 12% growth on your retirement income and up to a 30% bonus up front just for opening an account. If you have funds sitting idle in an old 401k or IRA, consider guaranteeing it to secure the peace of mind you deserve. Don't leave your financial security to chance. Take advantage of the highest guarantees I've seen in my career. Call Trajan today at 480-990-3300. That's 480-990-3300. Or visit us online at TrajanWealth.com.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Score big this football season with Waste Connections Roll-Off Services. Perfect for any cleanup, large or small. Visit wasteconnections.com/Arizona to learn more. Waste Connections of Arizona. We want your trash.
The world is a vampire.
Hey everybody, it's Bernsey, and we got our first look at football in 2024. Are we okay with the new kickoff? Did Lauren watch her Bears from start to finish? We'll tell you on the Bernsey and Gambo Show, 2 to 6 on Arizona Sports. We're coming up on this live practice that you've been talking up about an hour away now.
Man, here we go.
And, of course, the red and white scrimmage tomorrow, 1:15. 1:15.
Bang, bang, man. 2 bang, bang days for the Arizona Cardinals today. Maybe the most physical practice the Cardinals will have in training camp. Might not be, based on earnings, might not be, but today, I think it is going to be an incredibly physical day. And once again, many times as the longer camp goes, a lot of times the physicality starts to wane when you're hitting the same guy for the most part.
Yeah, well, so, along those lines, then you got the first preseason game, and it's the only preseason game here, but the first preseason game is a week from tomorrow against the Saints. So it's football ramps up.
Yes.
Like once again, it's like, okay, in a few more days you're doing this. Now you're doing this. We're not that far away from some actual game action.
It ramps up in the year 2024 of our Lord, of course. Now, back in 1985, hey, day one,
bam,
boom, hammer time.
Tyus Jones, I told the story yesterday. I mean, it's quick, but when we had Izzy Woolfork on, and then you were going to do a read during the break, and I teased, hey, Tyus Jones to the Suns. He's walking away. He's like, how did they get Tyus Jones? And I was like, I don't know.
I love that. I love that, Luke.
I really have an answer for you.
He was walking away thinking to himself, man, I just did an interview, but Luke, how did they get Tyus Jones?
Because
that's awesome.
It's kind of, I don't want to say a mystery, but it's one of those things that at the start of the offseason, nobody was expecting that. Josh Bartelstein was on with Burns and Gambo yesterday, and he gave some insight on how they approached that whole process.
As we kind of kept checking in, and you could kind of see the excitement and change, and getting to talk to Tyus. Then we recruited him. We made a plan of, hey, we're going to treat this like a college recruit and go all out and talk to his wife and be able to show him why his kids will love being here. So it was a 2-week process that every day we kind of had different touch points. And when we got that call and he said he was in, we were ecstatic.
That is so cool right there. I don't know. You just see, when you think of the NBA based on earnings, do you think of recruiting? I know what player to player, of course, but not the organizational recruiting.
Usually,
do you think of that? I don't.
The recruiting in the NBA in the offseason is, okay, how much money can you offer? All right, how much money can you offer? That typically is what it is.
I think there are dudes who want to play with other dudes. You know, I think there are guys that they've got that, but if the money's not there, it's not going to happen 99% of the time.
Yeah, you're right. I think wanting to team up with your buddy who's been on a different team, but I think that comes more from the players, like you were saying.
Exactly.
Like, okay, we've been waiting. This is your free agent contract. Come here. We can finally play basketball together. This one, I'm not saying Tyus Jones doesn't know anybody on the Suns, but it's not, it's certainly, we played the audio from him yesterday. It sounds like he came here because he believes they can win.
I mean, think about that. He just said right there, recruiting, of course. It was a 2-week process for the most part, and there were touch points every day, different touch points every day. Wow! They did, man. The Suns recruited Tyus Jones as an organization, and it worked.
More from Josh Bartelstein on the limitations that you have when you're recruiting somebody like Tyus Jones, and all you can do is offer the minimum.
There's really no negotiation for a minimum, right? All we can offer is a minimum. So on the periphery, we can offer all these other things about just the experience here, how we treat your family, the role. So, yeah, like if someone would have offered a multi-year huge contract, like we're not kidding ourselves. Of course that's going to happen. But once it gets into a range of where you're looking to reestablish your market maybe next summer, I believe we have incredible things to offer here. Living in Phoenix, the city, the people, what we're building culturally, and our view is we can win a lot of ties and even win things that it's close. And I think that's what happened here.
So is there a third apron? Is there a fourth apron? Is just how many aprons can you supersede? That is my question. I'm being a little facetious.
They've made it so difficult to even operate after passing the second apron.
Right, exactly. You have to wonder, though, do you think the Suns would like to make a run at Tyus Jones after this season? Now I realize there's a lot of water that's got to go under that bridge, but to me, I'm wondering, could you see it conceivably? If Tyus Jones comes in here and makes a huge impact on the Phoenix Suns and how they play the game of basketball, and things go well, do you think it's out of the question that the Phoenix Suns will also be in on him for a long-term contract?
That just gave me a headache because I'm trying to think just logistically what would have to happen for them to have any money to do that. I'm just gonna focus on this year.
Yeah.
Because who knows? I mean, the big picture with the Suns is like, and I honestly believe this. I mean, they could win a title this year, or it could go badly enough where they're blowing this up next year.
I'm just throwing this out there. I really am, based on names. I'm just throwing this out there, speculating. Let's just hypothetically, let's get into a hypothetical. You're going to love that.
Oh, great,
typically,
hypothetical.
I can't stand hypotheticals.
Yet here you
myself.
are leading us into one.
Yet I am. I'm doing it based on Orleans Bradley Beal, of course. A situation where you get into it where maybe Bradley Beal could be the sixth man. Is that a possibility to you?
Do you think
a possibility? It's a possibility that Bradley Beal might actually be the sixth man coming. I don't know about that. I wonder how he would actually.
Well, that's the question.
How would he feel about being that guy? And I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like that. Maybe he doesn't like the addition of Tyus Jones and what that brings, because maybe it cuts into his minutes at some point in time.
Yeah, I don't know.
And because of that, maybe he could possibly want to be moved. That's a hypothetical, complete hypothetical. Yet at the same time, I think it's a possibility.
Last year was, I'm sure, hard on Bradley Beal too. I mean, it was hard to watch, but I'm sure it was harder on him than anybody else. And I just wonder. I mean, I don't know Bradley Beal. We've talked to him a few times. I don't know the guy, so I don't know if he's at a point right now where he's like, look, he's done everything individually really in the NBA. I mean, he hasn't won the MVP, but he's had really good individual seasons. I'm sure he wants to win.
He's a great player.
Yeah, so I don't know, to answer your question of would he be willing to be the sixth man. Imagine having Bradley Beal coming off the bench as your sixth man.
Yeah.
I know people got frustrated with him not being able to be on the floor last year, but you don't typically have a guy who's averaged 30, 31 points in the season as your sixth man. I don't know if they would go down that path, but if he were open to it, like I said the other day, you could just hand him 6th Man of the Year award right now because there's not anybody else in the league that's going to be that qualified in that position. And they might need to do it some nights so that they're not so small out there with Tyus Jones and Bradley Beal and Devin Booker.
That is my concern
small.
right there.
Yeah.
That is. You know, when you talk about that, the three-headed monster, of course, that being Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. Notice how he didn't call it the Big Three. Did you like that?
I haven't called it the Big Three since
I
the
went
offseason
with what
started.
Josh said. Josh, you know, he said the three-headed monster.
Yeah,
that's what he called him right there.
That's
So
better.
you know what? I'm going to go with that. The Hydra. Why don't we just call him the Hydra instead of the Big Three or the three-headed monster? There is no mention of three
The
when you say
hypothetical Hydra. You've gone
You just say
hypothetical
Hydra.
and you've gone Hydra at the same
Yes.
time. Real quick, Josh Bartelstein on how the team reacted to the Tyus Jones signing.
We've been talking. Even with the time change, we're talking. They're all thrilled. You know, Tyus he's a proven winner, and he's done it at a really high level. And they just see the fit, you know, it's a natural fit, how optimized our guys, Kevin, Devin, Brad, but just really the whole roster.
More on that as the offseason unfolds.
Yes, indeed. You know what? Josh had an awful lot to say about that, and I really enjoyed that.
When we come back to football, is Kyler Murray playing free? His quarterback's coach suggested that to us yesterday. We'll react next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The future of Arizona sports. High school athletes speak about their game, their preparation, competition, and sportsmanship. Every Saturday morning on AZ Preps Live. Presented by Brooklyn Betting. Don't miss interviews with players from your favorite local teams when Kevin McCabe hosts AZ Preps Live. Saturday mornings at 9 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Your gas light's on. We need to fill up.
Gas around here is too expensive.
Don't drive all over searching for the lowest prices. Just download the free Upside app and get cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying gas? I'm stopping now to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill up. That's promo code GIFT.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
The monsoons are here, which might have you asking the question if your roof is ready to endure the wind and the rain. Dave Burns here for Renco Roofing. Don't take a gamble with this. Leaks or roofing issues could lead to costly repairs, but with Renco Roofing, you can get ahead of it. Let their experts point you in the right direction so your roof can stand up to the tests of the monsoons. Next day appointments are available, so go to RencoRoofing.com or call 480-418-5390. Renco Roofing, monsoon tested, sunshine approved.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with Mike Freeland from Turf Monsters. And Mike, one of our co-workers here at the radio station, just had their entire backyard done by Turf Monsters. Raves about your work. What makes your company so special?
Well, thank you, Dan, and thank you for the referral. We definitely appreciate it. What makes us special is we're a one-stop shop. We can turn your yard from nothing into whatever you want. We provide custom landscaping, custom barbecue pits, custom pergolas, whatever you need, we can do. We take great pride in our reputation, and we definitely stand behind our work.
And we all know in the summer times in Arizona, crazy hot. What about people who need some shade in their backyard? What can you do for them?
We got a few options. We can do any kind of custom pergola you need, slated, solid. We can do tree installation, plant installation. There's always ways to get you shade.
There you go. Schedule your free estimate at turfmonsters.com or give them a call at 623-323-3900 for Turf Monsters.
Hey folks, it's Dave Ramsey with a word about investing. One investment you might not think of, even though it's probably the biggest purchase you'll ever make, is your home. So this summer, invest in your home with Window World. You see, Window World replacement windows and doors will help keep your home cooler, reduce your power bills, and increase the value of your home. Plus, your investment is backed by Window World's true lifetime warranty. Call today, and Window World of Phoenix will install 5 large premium premium sliding windows, all with energy-efficient Solar Zone Sun Shield glass for only $39.63, tax included. At Window World, you get their guaranteed lowest price up front without any hassle. So take care of your home with an investment that will last a lifetime. Call today or schedule online at windowworldphoenix.com. That's windowworldphoenix.com. Window World, simply the best for definitely less.
This is Dr. Mark Wang, a spine surgeon at Desert Institute for Spine Care, also known as DISC. If you've been told you need back or neck surgery, have spinal stenosis, bulging discs, or any chronic spine condition, call DISC, the leaders in the most innovative, minimally invasive spine care, at 602-944-2900, or visit the DISC website at sciatica.com. Live a life free of back and neck pain. Call us at DISC at 602-944-2900 or visit us at sciatica.com.
KMBP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
I'm Jesse Morrison with the latest from the Arizona Sports Desk, presented by Parker & Sons, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. After a day off yesterday, the Arizona Diamondbacks are back on the field today. They play the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Brandon Pfaadt starts for the Snakes, while Luis L. Ortiz starts for the Bucks. First pitch is at 3:40 with pregame coverage starting at 3 right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. Who the D-backs closer will be this weekend is a major question entering this series, as Paul Sewald has struggled as of late. Make sure to tune in to Burns and Gambo at 2:30 as they will ask skipper Torey Lovello that very question. And the Olympics are continuing on from Paris. Sun Devil swimming legend Leon Marchand took his 4th gold of the games in the men's 200 IM final. The latest is brought to you by 4 Peaks, 4 Seats. Text SEATS to 620-620 for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Saturday, August 10th D-backs home game versus the Phillies, plus food and beverage credit. That's SEATS to 620-620.
This is where the hope and the hype finally mix it up on the field.
Hey, this is Kyler Murray. You're listening to Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Training camp coverage presented by Bud Light. Wolf and Luke live at Cardinals training camp.
Final hour of the show out here today, but we'll be back next week, Wolf. Why wouldn't we be? There's training camp going on, and next week you're leading into the first preseason game for the Cardinals. Right now they're getting ready for that practice in about 40-ish minutes here that you have pretty high expectations for, the physicality of this practice, potentially.
Yeah, right about now, based on our needs, this is where, okay, you feel really confident about the schemes that are being employed, and yes, they're still evolving. There's no doubt about that in terms of their meetings and some more complicated stuff that they're probably introducing right now. But for the most part, your meat and potatoes, those plays, those schemes that you're going to run, they are in right now. And this is where guys start flexing a little bit in training camp. It's a lot different than how it used to be all the way back in 1985, Basinonians, where it was day one flex or you're gone. It was, here we go immediately. Now all of a sudden it's a little bit different in the year 24 of our Lord, of course, and now we've got this full pads practice on a Friday, and it is the Friday before the red white, and they're going to bang tomorrow too, says JG. They're going to bang tomorrow, today and tomorrow. They're going to go at it really, really well. But it's always that week before the first preseason game, that weekend before that first preseason game, that's typically the most physical you're going to find in camp.
Well, so here we go. We're going into that. I mean, the first preseason game is a week from tomorrow. That'll be here against the Saints. And then there are other 2 preseason games or road games against the Colts. Somehow you're going on that trip, Wolf.
Yeah.
Be in Indianapolis. How did that happen?
Well, I have no idea, but that's going to be kind of weird because they're going to have night practices there, I believe. Yes, they're going to have night practices.
They practiced at night, so you would still have to do the show.
I know, so we're going to be doing the show. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, but
I'll have tons of information, won't I?
I'm sure we'll have all. I'm sure that it'll be.
It's going to be Ron
seamless.
Wolfley reporting.
Actually, Ron Wolfley
It's going to be Ron Wolfley reporting.
We need to get like a sounder for that. Here's Ron Wolfley reporting. It'll just be you saying Ron Wolfley reporting.
Yeah, just get some stat that I butchered.
And then we'll obviously be in 2 different time zones, and that always goes well for us on the show when we're in 2 different time zones, so that'll be fun as well. Israel Woolfork joined us up here yesterday, and we asked him a lot about Kyler Murray, obviously, because he is the Cardinals quarterbacks coach. He's pretty good rapport with Kyler. There was a story, I want to say it was on ESPN a few months ago, talking about how those two just work together and bounce ideas off of each other. We asked him how Kyler has looked so far through the first week and a half of camp.
Taking it one day at a time and building on the good and learning from the bad. I think that's been the biggest thing. He's been very consistent on how he has approached work on a daily basis, whether that's on the field, in the classroom, around the locker room, continue to be positive and helping. We got a lot of young guys out there right now, so getting reps with them, building a relationship with those guys, and then continue to get working on a lot of vets. I mean, he only got to practice a couple months last year, so all these reps, walkthrough, and practice and competitive periods have been super important. He's been taking advantage of all the opportunities.
Really is. We've been talking about a 3-headed monster, the big 3, talking about the Hydra, Basinonians, whatever you want to call it right now. The triumvirate is what I'm going to call it, the Kyler Murray triumvirate right now. JG, of course, has really poured into Kyler Murray. JG has mentored Kyler Murray. And then you've got Drew Petzing as well, the offensive coordinator, and the way that he has worked with Kyler Murray, of course, very closely. But Izzy as well, his quarterback coach. Man, Izzy has really been more of a teammate type approach, bringing him along, right? The young guy that he is right now. Now, he's his coach, of course. He's his quarterback coach, and it's different. But, man, you've got this relationship that's almost like a player-to-player relationship.
Yeah, I remember that came up as a criticism when, with the previous regime, when Cliff was the head coach and Kyler, there would be times where it's like, oh, yeah, they're almost like teammates. But that doesn't work when it's the head coach and there is no offensive coordinator.
Yep.
But in this situation with Izzy Woolfork, it's like, yeah, that's perfect because you've still got Drew Petzing as your offensive coordinator and Jonathan Ganon as your head coach. We talked to Izzy about the concept of how they bounce ideas off of each other.
I think that's perfect, and I think it's super important. I mean, my job depends on Kyler, and Kyler's job depends on me. So the more information I can give him, the more I can help him out. I think that's going to help him out on the field, and the better he plays, the smarter I look at the end of the day. You got to see.
Good thinking right there.
No, but he's out there, and we do stuff in X's and O's on the board in the classroom. We're not out there when the bullets are flying. So he may see something, and he may feel something, and he has a better understanding because he's physically doing it. So if it matches what we do from an offensive philosophy and is what's best for the team, we always take any advice that he can give us because he's he sees the field very well. He's very smart.
Never forget that, Luke. You want to go ahead and you want to be a offensive coordinator, not just a quarterback coach, but now an offensive coordinator. Allow your quarterback to play well because that's going to be very, very important.
I know I brought this notepad
I want to write that down.
Yeah, I've had it just sitting here all day.
Yeah, you are hoping that your quarterback is going to play very well because as a quarterback coach, you do get credit. There's no denying that. You do get credit. And if you get the opportunity, the NFL being a meritocracy, the meritocracy that he is, or it is, I should say, you're going to get the opportunity. I'm sorry, I was so distracted because the whistle blew, and I wanted to see where they were going in terms of breaking it up down here.
I was going to say,
there's
you
nobody
react
out
to a whistle
on
like
the field right now. There's just a whistle.
There's one whistle.
That actually blew right there.
And Wolf's like, what's happening?
There's no practice going
on. There really isn't practice going on yet. It's not for real until 1:45. Here's Izzy Woolfork on Kyler Murray's leadership.
I think he's super comfortable in who he is. I think that he's comfortable with us as a coaching staff and where the organization is right now, and he's playing free and he's being free. And Kyler's been in the league a lot of years now, so he has a lot of experience that he can help pass on to a lot of these young guys. He's had success, he's failed at times, and he's built on that. And whether it has to do with the media, whether it has to do with playing on the field, how to prepare for games. Just overall, his experience is knowledgeable to a lot of young guys, and he's been really good with building and connecting with those guys and sharing that information.
Man, I love that right there. Love what he just said. He's had success, and he's failed, and he's built on that. That, to me, again, it is. You take the good with the bad. And this applies to all players, my brothers, all players right now. You take the good and the bad, of course, and yet you build on that. And you learn from each experience, good experiences and bad experiences. As a matter of fact, you'll learn more from a bad experience than you will a good one, Luke.
If you'll let yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know the tendency is to be like, just kind of pretend it didn't happen. But if you already went through the bad experience, you may as well get the silver lining out of it, Like pretending it didn't happen doesn't make it go away. So
Pretending, I love that, the Jedi mind trick.
So you may as well get something out of it.
Oh, you didn't get lit up.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I've never been sacked.
You didn't get knocked on your butt.
All right, when we come back, did the Diamondbacks do enough at the trade deadline to be in the race at the end of the season? We'll dive into that next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The Cardinals have begun doing this and this. Practice is open to the public, and Arizona Sports is there with Wolf and Luke and Burns and Gambo, bringing you the sights and sounds from Cardinals training camp. Training camp coverage presented by Bud Light. Get more of this, and this from the Cardinals and Arizona Sports on 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
All right, Basinonians, Ron Wolfley here from my brothers over at Brooklyn Betting. What do you say, Rick? You bring me that Brooklyn beat if you don't mind. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The summer sale is going on at Brooklyn Betting right now. Yeah, the summer sale, you get 25% off everything in-store and online. Everything online and in-store is 25% off. You may want to make your way over to one of 13 Basin locations at Brooklyn Betting. The way to find out, go to brooklynbetting.com, and you can see where those locations are right now. When it comes to building a better mattress, Brooklyn Betting literally owns it. The company designs and manufactures all of its bedding in their very own state-of-the-art factory right here in the Basin, and then they ship the product directly and pass the savings directly on to you as well. What you need to do is go to brooklynbetting.com. You'll see the summer sale going on right now, 25% off everything in-store and online. Go to brooklynbetting.com.
Hi folks, Brandon Webb here. What makes Refi so different from other investments? Refi offers a secure, collateralized portfolio with a strong fixed rate of return, up to 10.25%. That's right, you heard it, 10.25%. There's no attack on your principal if ever you need your money back, and you're in control. You can let your investment compound daily or take income, whatever you choose. Just call 877-80-INVEST or log on to investYrefi.com. And make sure to tell them Brandon Webb sent you.
Extreme heat means extreme savings for you. Watch for summer meltdown price drops on our vast inventory of stock and lifted trucks, Jeeps, SUVs, and more.
As the temps keep rising,
our prices are falling to the lowest they've ever been. With interest rates also coming down, now is your time to buy at Trucks Only. 3 locations to serve you in Mesa, Apache Junction, and Tucson. And online at trucksonly.com.
Trucks Only. Load up with the best.
The sunny days of summer are not far off. Perfect time to get a new pair of sunglasses. Hi, Greg Ellis from the Bunker to Bunker Golf Show. Shady Rays are the ones I wear, specifically the Green Wolf Golf Series. But they have tons of other cool styles. Better yet, Shady Rays are affordable. And break them, scratch them, lose them, they replace them. Use promo code B2B and get 30% off at the Kierland Commons location in Scottsdale or at shadyrays.com.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and we tell you about Sweet James Accident Attorneys for very important reasons. And here's a story that proves why you should never face an insurance company alone if you are hurt in an accident. One of our listeners was seriously injured in a trucking accident, and guess what the insurance company offered him for his injuries? Zero, nothing, nada. Well, he called Sweet James, and not only did they get him the medical care he needed, but they secured a whopping $10 $10 million win, and that is a life-changing victory. Now, they can't guarantee outcomes. No law firm can. But in our legal system, having the right attorney makes all the difference in the world, and that is why you call Sweet James. They win big, and they treat you with compassion every step of the way. And don't wait to call, because waiting may hurt your case. Remember, you pay nothing until they win. 800-9-million. That's 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. Proud partner of your Phoenix Suns.
Hey, if your roof is down to its last strike, bottom of the ninth, hit a home run with America Roofing. Home or business repair or replace. And we've had America Roofing do both. The Casa Calvisi go with Arizona's Roofing Contractor of the Year. More than 2 decades of experience, A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Nobody knows an Arizona roof better than Jake Tracy and the crew. And it gets better. Mention Calvisi and save 10% at AmericaRoofingCo.com.
ROC 186438042.
Wolf and Luke with today's MLB standings. Brought to you by America Roofing, Arizona's #1 residential and commercial roofing company. They've got you covered.
Let's take a look at the MLB standings. The NL West, Wolf. A lot of the time when we do the NL West part of the standings, it's like, okay, let's get through this so we can get to the wild card. And it's probably worth talking about the NL West now at this point. The Dodgers are still, they're the Dodgers. They're 63-46. But the Padres are only 4.5 games back.
Wow.
And the Diamondbacks are only a half game back of the Padres.
The Padres?
I was just going to keep saying Padres.
I know, thank you.
The Giants are 4.5 back of the Diamondbacks, and then the Rockies are 14 back of the Giants. So thanks for playing, Rockies. But, if you had to pick right now who's going to win the NL West, I think most people would still pick the Dodgers, but it's not, done as you would have maybe expected at this point.
You know what's so weird about it, too? I just want to say this quickly. I know you've got other stuff you have to get to right here, but can I just say this based on our names right now?
That sums up the show, by the way.
Yeah, right.
You have this thing you want to get to. Well, I have other stuff I have to get to.
Truer words, my friends, have never been spoken. Can I just say right now, by the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. That's got to be what the rest of the National League might be looking at when they're looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, seriously, stop and think about that. 33-19 in their last 52 games. 33-19. 12-2-3 in their last 17 series. We talk about it all the time, but think about it. This is the reigning National League champions.
Yeah.
Arizona Diamondbacks, who, what did they do to the Dodgers? How did that series go?
It should have been a sweep.
Should have been a sweep, right? But I to me, and they're getting back Merrill Kelly and Erod? Oh, yeah. I think the Arizona Diamondbacks might actually have some other teams in the National League a little uneasy.
Well, I guess technically if you're talking about the playoff series with the Dodgers, it was a sweep.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, so that should have been and was a sweep. Their last series against the Dodgers in the regular season should have been and ended up just being a series win for the Diamondbacks. As far as the wild card standings, I'll try and sum this up in a way where you don't have to remember a bunch of numbers while you're trying to drive around or whatever. It's essentially the Braves, Padres, D-backs, Mets, Cardinals, Pirates, okay? Those 6 teams fighting for 3 spots, separated by a total of 4 games. And the Pirates are the 6th of the 6. So if you're the Diamondbacks, you have a 2.5 game lead on the Pirates for the final wild card spot right now. I don't have to draw out how important each one of these games is. I mean, you don't have a lot of opportunities left this season where you play a team and you directly move an additional game ahead of them in the wild card standings if you beat them.
Can I just say this right now? Even though the Pirates lit up Brandon Pfaadt a little bit the last time that they played, that was over here at Chase.
Yeah,
remember that?
Saturday, yeah.
That's right, Saturday. That's unbelievable, right? It's weird.
You remember that?
It's
yeah.
weird. Yeah,
I do remember that game.
But you know what? Honestly, right now, I don't know if there's a guy on the rotation right now that I'd rather have taken the ball to start this series than Brandon Pfaadt.
Merrill Kelly, just because it would mean he's healthy.
He's not here.
Okay, yeah, Brandon Pfaadt. I think, even at that game, what did he give up? 5 runs in 6 innings. For most of that outing, he was cruising. And he was coming off the 7-inning one-hitter against the Cubs as well. So
there's something about Brandon Pfaadt that is happening to him right now that is really intriguing to me.
You gotta fight
for your rights. Just say.
I was looking to see if they had any of the. Oh, they do. Wow, look at that. In the last 30 seconds, here's the starting lineup for today's game. You want it? You're getting it either way. Leading off, Corbin Carroll.
Oh, the Predator.
Back at the top of the line.
Thank you.
That's the sound you make when you're batting leadoff. Ketel Marte, Jock Peterson. Boy, Jock Peterson's been fun this year.
Yeah.
Josh Bell, cleanup.
That's good. That's well played right there, Rick.
If he gets good, we're going to have to play For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yeah, no, exactly. Josh, that's great. I love that.
And I don't think that's the bell that would take us off the air, so I think we could do that. But if he hits a home run this weekend, we're playing For Whom the Bell Tolls on Monday.
That's right.
Lourdes batting 5th. Gabby Moreno back in there batting 6th. So that's encouraging. Eugenio Suarez batting 7th.
Oh, Eugenio.
Yeah, it's just 3 home runs a night now. Alec Thomas 8th. Jerry 9th. Brandon Pfaadt on the mound.
Man, I absolutely love that.
I like that lineup.
There,
that's a fun lineup.
Sweet.
You get Corbin back at the top. You get Josh Bell. Hey, Josh, thanks for joining the team here. You're going to bat cleanup now. You're just going to step right in and bat cleanup. So this will be fun. And, if you can't get a hold of one, our guy that's batting 7th just hits like 3 home runs a game now in Gino. So, yeah.
Man, I love that, though. The Predator, once again, Corbin Carroll leading off. Oh, yes, that fires me up. Okay, here we go.
This is Buster Olney. He was on with Bickley and Murata this morning, and he likes where the D-backs are right now.
I think they're in a great place. FanGraphs this morning, according to that website, they have a 58% chance to make the playoffs. They're gathering momentum, and I do think the experience they had last year plays for them. It's not like Torey Lovello has to try to convince these guys that they can find a way to get into the postseason and what, that potentially could mean. They've all lived it together. And, the fact is that they're not competing against a group of immortal teams, when you're talking about the Mets and the Cardinals, the Cubs, if the Cubs come back into the race at some point. So I do like where they are, especially considering the fact that, they've had all these starting pitching issues, injuries, Corbin Carroll with a slow start, and it does feel like they're in a good place.
Yeah. You know what? Just listening to him talk about that, all those issues, once again, Corbin Carroll with a slow start, Eugenio Suarez with a slow start right there. I mean, it's not like everything is gone the Diamondbacks' way. As a matter of fact, it hasn't. It's been just the opposite. And now all of a sudden, here they rip off 33-19 in the last 52, and they're getting only healthier. Now, I understand Christian Walker once again with the IL, but still, hopefully, that's not going to be a long-term thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right, and it sort of defies logic that July would be the month they would have gone on a run. They've really gone on quite the run over the last 2 months. I mean, I had the stat earlier, and it's not hard to find, but 7 games below 500 going into June, 7 games above 500 coming out of July. That means you did some work there. And July was not kind to the Diamondbacks last year, and early August was not kind to the Diamondbacks last year, and they seem to be on a mission to right some wrongs from last season for sure. The other thing, though, when he was talking, you look around the National League, and I always want to make sure you say this the right way, right? Because I don't want, the Dodgers beat the D-backs in a playoff series, and we're just hearing from Dodgers fans nonstop. I'm not saying the Dodgers are bad. I'm not. I typically am somebody who picks them to go pretty far in the playoffs when the playoffs roll around, and I get it. They don't typically go very far in the playoffs. This year, I think they're a good team. I think they should win the NL West, but I do think that they're beatable in the playoffs, more so than they were last year when the Diamondbacks swept them. Jason Stark was on Bickley and Murata yesterday and actually said a very similar thing.
Well, it's amazing how many holes they have for a team that's spent over $1 billion last winter. Obviously, $1.1 billion doesn't buy what it used to. The bottom of their order is probably as as weak and precarious as I can remember. And do they even have a rotation? I've kidded Andrew Friedman about this a lot over the years. Like, just try to figure out who is going to be starting for the Dodgers when they get to October. Yeah. And that will answer what we think they'll be. Okay, I'm pretty sure Tyler Glasnow will be in the rotation. Then who? I guess Jack Flaherty. The Yankees were wrong about his physical, but is Walker Buehler going to pitch? Is Yamamoto going to pitch? How are they going to pull this off? It would be so Dodger-like to just stagger to the finish line and then put it together.
Yeah.
But you just said it. If you stack up their team, their roster, their healthy players, and their healthy pitchers right now versus what the Diamondbacks and Padres are running out there, if the season started now, where would you pick the Dodgers? Not first.
Yeah.
And
Your thoughts on that, Lou?
Well, I just, even more than that, I would say if the playoffs started right now, would you pick the Dodgers to go to the World Series or win the World Series? And this really isn't me trying to pile on the Dodgers. They're in first place, so they can take it. But I'm not specifically looking at the Dodgers so much as I'm just saying the National League's wide open. If the Diamondbacks or the Padres were playing the Dodgers in a best of 3 or a best of 5 right now, starting tonight, would you think it's a foregone conclusion the Dodgers are going to win? And I think that's a definite no. And it's not just because the Dodgers struggle in the playoffs. Like I don't know that they are that much better than the other teams right now.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. Now, listen, they've had their own injury situations.
They have.
They've had all sorts of issues as well. But let me just say this. You know what? Money doesn't buy happiness, does it not? It doesn't. And, yeah, their margins are huge, and that's what I hate about it. Yet at the same time, they're coming back to earth, and they have been in the second half of the season here. The first half of the season kind of looked like the Dodgers were going to run away with it. Remember that?
It did. And, their top 3 hitters, we've said this a lot on the show. I mean, obviously the top 3 hitters, I don't know how far back you'd have to go in baseball history to find a better 1 through 3 when those guys are all healthy and playing.
Yeah.
But what Jason Stark just said right there was a distinct thought I had when the Diamondbacks played the Dodgers. It was at the start of July, I think. The end of their orders, I would much prefer the Diamondbacks 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters over the Dodgers, and that's crazy to say that when they just spent $1.1 billion, and in general they draft and develop players pretty well too. So we'll see. I guess the bigger headline here is that the National League seems pretty wide open right now, more so than usual. There were a lot of years where it was like if you're not beating the Dodgers, and then maybe the Braves or Phillies would step up.
Did you say 1.1 billion?
Billion. This offseason.
Let that settle, Basinonians.
Text us your thoughts to the FanDuel text line at 620 right now. When we come back, how do the Cardinals vet the new guys they bring in? Jonathan Ganon detailed the process, and it's pretty amazing. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The Train Teddy Bear Express gets rolling at Phoenix Children's for the Give-a-thon on August 12th. You can make a difference for kids and families. Keep listening for details. The Give-a-thon is presented by your Valley Hyundai dealers and Ak-Chin Indian community.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Gotta change my oil.
How about Valvoline Restore and Protect? It restores and protects your engine to run like new.
Get in zone.
It restores your engine to, factory clean?
And protects.
Get in zone.
So Valvoline Restore and Protect restores and protects.
Now you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for $37.99.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit ConsumerCellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hey Arizona, Tom Chambers here. I've learned that great teams are built by hard work, ethics, and perseverance. That's exactly what you get with Right Way Roofing. Right Way Roofing is a third-generation roofing company that has built trust in our community through their commitment to excellence. They use the toughest, most durable materials to handle Arizona's extreme weather. Take it from me, Tom Chambers. When it comes to your roof, choose the team that delivers excellence, because there's only one way, the right way.
We're Right Way Roofing and we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
Trying to fight the Arizona sun all day, working outside, or trying to sneak in a workout after putting in a full day at the office can leave you dehydrated and fatigued, and I have found a product that checks all the boxes for my life, and I'm sharing it with you. Hydrate and Recover from Wilderness Athlete. Dave Burns here, low in sugar, high in electrolytes, amino acids, and super convenient with the individual packets. Say goodbye to post-workout struggles and hello to optimal muscle repair. Get yours today at wildernessathlete.com. Use keyword Burns at checkout for an extra 20% off.
Arthritis can be simply awful, bone on bone, constant pain, robbing you of so much of the stuff you love to do. Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and I've got some good news for you. There are now effective ways to deal with that pain, and I'm talking about cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief, and the place to go, QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, restore your mobility, and give you long-term relief. This is why they are called the future of medicine. So if you are living with chronic pain, you need to know steroids and surgery and pain pills no longer your only options. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are ready to help you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics now with clinics in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler, and you can reach them by calling 602-837-PAIN, 602-837-PAIN for QC Kinetics.
Parker & Sons wants to thank you, Arizona, for helping them become the Valley's most trusted heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical company over the last 50 years. 50 years. It's Parker's 50th anniversary. They are celebrating by giving right back to Arizona with 50 acts of kindness. If anyone you know is in need of Parker's services, visit parker50.com and nominate them for a free service or repair today. Parker50.com or call 602-2REPAIR.
I'm Jesse Morrison with the latest from the Arizona Sports Desk, presented by Parker & Sons, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. After a day off yesterday, the Arizona Diamondbacks are back on the field today. They play the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Brandon Pfaadt starts for the Snakes, while Luis L. Ortiz starts for the Bucks. First pitch is at 3:40 with pregame coverage starting at 3, right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. And this just in, D-backs manager Torey Lovullo said Paul Sewald is out as closer. You can listen to Torey Lovullo on with Burns and Gambo today at 2:30. And the Olympics are continuing on from Paris. Sun Devil swimming legend Leon Marchand took his 4th gold of the games in the men's 200 IM final. The latest is brought to you by Brooklyn Betting. Brooklyn Betting, Arizona built for America's dreams.
Training camp coverage presented by Bud Light.
Wolf and Luke talking Cardinals camp. Now.
Good luck with their rotation.
Yeah, their rotation's a mess.
How about this? Torey Lovullo just said right after we went to break, Paul Sewald not closing for the Diamondbacks.
There you go, right there, Basinonians. The word has come down. Paul Sewald not closing with the Diamondbacks.
So I don't know if that is like a for now, if that is, if that's taking it. It's everything I'm seeing says he's taking Paul Sewald out of the closer's role.
So Nick Picoro tweeted that Lovullo isn't ruling out getting Sewald back in that role eventually.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically what we've been saying, right? I mean,
yeah, once again, I was going to go down that rabbit hole one more outing with him, but Torey obviously has had enough. And again, this is, it's so interesting because I'm a loyal guy. I am. I'm a loyal guy, and I know Torey is a loyal guy as well. But you don't get paid to be loyal. You don't. He gets paid to make tough decisions.
You get paid to be patient, and even though it didn't necessarily work out, I don't know. I don't even know how you would grade that. When Paul Sewald had the 3 blown saves in 1 week, you and I were both like, you got to stick with him. You at least have to give him. And then he did rattle off 5 straight saves, so maybe it did work out. But when you were talking earlier, when we were having this conversation about an hour or so ago, it kind of crystallized in my head of like, I probably should have realized this the other day. You rarely ever see a closer get pulled out in the middle of a blown save before they actually finish losing the game. You know what I mean? Or at least losing the lead. The fact that he got pulled while they were still winning that game and they were like, we have to go to somebody else to win this.
Right.
That's a pretty good indicator that he's not your closer. And now an even better indicator that he's not your closer is when the manager says he's not the closer.
I'm not laughing at you,
so now
Paul,
it's clear.
And the fact that you're not the closer. I'm laughing at what Luke said. That's very interesting.
But I do think, and it sort of sounds like Tori's probably thinking the same way, best case would be that he is the closer again at some point.
Yes, I agree with that.
So
okay, so there it is. It's official. Do not expect to see Paul Sewald as the closer tonight if they get that opportunity.
So now we got to pick real quick. Gink or Puck?
Oh, it's Puck.
You think it's Puck?
I think so. But again, I've been wrong before. Wrong on Paul Sewald as well.
I'm gonna go Gink. Do you think there's a chance Justin Martinez is the guy? I nothing against him, but I really don't want him to be the guy. Not right now. Maybe in like a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5.
There's no way it's J-Mark.
Okay,
no way.
I'm just saying that because that's floating around on Twitter a lot right now.
There's no way that's a possibility right there, in my opinion.
I think it's Gink or Puck.
And could it possibly be a Gink or Puck situation based on the next 3 hitters going into the 9th?
Yeah, I think it could with Tori.
With Tori, right? I mean, whether you're going to have a couple left-handers out there or maybe a couple right-handers, maybe that really is going to help determine who is going to be picked at that point. I don't know if I'm crazy about that, though, because, now all of a sudden
I'd like to have a closer.
You'd rather have a guy that you knew was going to be the guy.
I don't think Amiel's on with us next week.
Yeah, I know.
Luckily for him. I think it's 2 weeks from now. I think next week is Mike Fitzgerald because, in case you've missed it, all of last season, Wolf kept asking Amiel Sadeh who the team's closer was, and then when they finally got Paul Sewald, he was like, "You going to ask me again, Wolf?"
Thanks for that, Logan.
Yeah, so now he'll get to ask again. Hopefully it's decided before he's back on. I'm with you. I'd kind of like them to pick one. You don't need to pick it right now, but I wouldn't want to go the rest of the season being like, oh, tonight it could be this guy. Like, hopefully this series reveals who that guy is. And like I said, and I'll keep saying this, ideally Paul Sewald figures it out and then gets back into that role before, like, September.
Yeah. That would be like closer by council if you had 2, basically. It's closer by committee. That means you got a lot more than that. And I think we've seen that before, and I was not a big fan.
How many teams win the World Series with closer by committee, which also means not having a closer?
Correct.
All right, over to football, and this I knew was going to catch your attention, Wolf, and it did, and I think rightfully so. Jonathan Ganon on with Burns and Gambo yesterday talking about the types of players that not only do they want on this team, but that they have now put on this team.
I would say it's a credit to Monty, his staff, because you're not going to swing and hit home runs every time you bring a player on board, but himself and me were very convicted. It's a big percentage. It's a very big percentage. Mm-hmm. And here's why. Because the more guys you have, like the guys you just named and all the other guys, you don't have to deal with distractions that are outside the building or sometimes even inside the building. You can just get to football and development and serving the players.
You don't have to worry
So it's
about
like,
it.
because, when those guys are all in on ball and they're team-first guys and they got good character, normally it goes hand in hand.
And I love that right there. But that, make no mistake about it, he credited Monty Austin for it right there, for a thought. That's how culture begins. It's just a thought. And Monty had a thought. We're going to get character guys. And by the way, I'm going to hire a coach who believes in getting character guys. Not just talented guys, but talented guys that have character. See how that works right there? That's what you have to do. But it began as a thought. You got to go find guys that have character because then that will limit the distractions in that locker room. And trust me, there are a lot of distractions already. Even good distractions can happen in a locker room. There's a lot of distractions already. You don't need the bad distractions as well.
So let me ask you this, and I don't know if there's a definitive answer, but, we all lived through this team a year and a half ago, basically getting to this point where they had to start building a culture. And it sure seems like they have done, to go from basically last January to now, is that 19 months or whatever? I would say that they are certainly on, if not way ahead of schedule in terms of building a culture. I think they've built it. That Kyler quote when he sat down with us about a month or so ago where he's like, the culture's real. Like, he just threw that in.
That's right.
I agree with him. So the question I have for you, Wolf, is what's the next challenge to that? Like, stuff's going to challenge your culture. Is that just over time as you bring in new players? That's the biggest challenge? Is that you start the season 0-3 and guys start to kind of waver a little bit? Like, what is it?
Yeah, the biggest challenge, I think, to that, Luke, is going to be a situation where you have one of your best players suddenly get in trouble. Now what do? You got this culture that you totally believe, that you've cultivated, that you have tried to install, and now all of a sudden one of your best players gets into some type of trouble and makes you and the organization look bad. What do you do then?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's been a lot of coaches that have overlooked, the talent thing. He's so talented, you know what, we'll just kind of overlook any problems he might bring to bear. So that is what I would say to you. Once you've established that culture, what do you do when everything doesn't go your way?
My first thought when you're saying that is of two players, right? One is Marvin Harrison Jr., because I'm thinking of who are the best players.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he knows there's anything going on in the world outside of this football field anyway, so I feel
sure
good with him.
More importantly, I'm not sure he cares.
Yeah, that's true. If it's getting in the way of him and a jugs
machine. It's not
machine.
about not knowing. It's about caring.
And then the other one's Kyler Murray, and, I've been saying this for years, even when he was the subject of a lot of criticism. I remember the one thing I kept coming back to was, but he's, the guy doesn't get in trouble off the field. He's a good dude, at least.
Yes.
And so what you're saying, I think, is right. And so it really helps to have your quarterback and maybe your best offensive weapon as this all plays. I mean, the other one would be James Conner. I'm not worried about him getting in trouble either. So you're in a pretty good spot with some of these guys.
Yes, agreed.
All right, so when we come back, final segment of the show, practice will be opening up. Could today's practice for the Cardinals be the most physical one so far in camp? It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
D-backs Nationals.
2-2 to Adams is grounded up the middle. Perdomo has it on 2 feet, and the throw to first in time. It's been a minute since the Diamondbacks dominated like this as they take down Washington by a final score of 17-0.
The D-backs sweep the Nats at home. D-backs are in Pittsburgh for 3 games at the Pirates. Coverage begins this afternoon at 3 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
I was out of town, and my wife had a business meeting she had to go to, so we hired the next-door neighbor to be the babysitter. She had them out by the pool, and my daughter got hungry, so she took my daughter inside to get a sandwich and left Rex out by the pool by himself. And when she came back out, Rex was face down in the pool. She started screaming, the babysitter, and my next door neighbor on the other side heard the screaming, came over, got Rex out of the pool. By the time 911 came, they tried to resuscitate him. He never did regain consciousness. These drowning incidents, they happen very quickly and they're silent. Keep constant eye-to-eye contact with the children around the pool. Many people think it can't happen to me, and it does. It can happen to anybody. It happened to me.
Fulton Homes remembers Rex and reminds you, 2 seconds is too long to take your eyes off kids near water. Take action today and visit Fulton2seconds.com.
Bring home your own bling to celebrate the D-backs' amazing postseason run. On August 10th, the first 30,000 fans will receive a 2023 National League Championship replica ring. Secure your tickets now at dbacks.com.
Dan Bickley here with my guy, Shane O'Hanrahan. And for people who are tired of gas prices in Arizona, I see some smoking hot deals on electric vehicles at Chapman BMW.
That's right, Bick. All our BMW EVs are getting incredible reviews. People love them. And right now, you can lease the all-new BMW i4 for as low as $459 a month. But we offer great prices on all our make and models. Come on down, check us out, and get your hookup.
You can shop online at ChapmanBMW.com. That's Chapman BMW. 2 great locations.
One great experience.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
You've heard the saying, it's hard to stop a train. When it comes to putting smiles on children's faces at the Phoenix Children's Hospital, nothing will get in the way when the Teddy Bear Express pulls into town. Train is the proud sponsor of this year's Give-a-thon, giving hundreds of teddy bears to children currently undergoing treatment at PCH. For the past 9 years, Train's commitment ensures that every child's journey through treatment is accompanied by a comforting companion, reminding them they're not alone in their fight.
There are a lot of companies offering to buy your home for cash right now. But is there anyone offering multiple cash offers so you can be certain you're getting the best cash offer for your home? Well, there's only one. Carol Royce, your home sold guaranteed realty. If you're looking for the best cash offer available, why settle for just one when you can get multiple cash offers from Carol Royce? Call today, 480-776-5231, or find Carol Royce online and start packing.
Score big this football season with Waste Connections roll-off services. Perfect for any cleanup, large or small. Visit wasteconnections.com/Arizona to learn more. Waste Connections of Arizona. We want your trash.
Training camp coverage presented by Bud Light.
Wolf and Luke talking Cardinals camp. Now.
I have to confirm that this was a real quote, Wolf.
Yeah.
But I believe, because I've seen it from a couple people that were at ASU today, because they're being officially in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Kenny Dillingham's quote was, "Welcome to the Big 12. We're the worst team in it." Unquote. I love that.
That sounds like a coach that is trying to motivate his team a little bit.
I appreciate the sarcasm. I'm a big
Exactly.
fan of that. All right, we're out here. We're at camp. I believe it is open, although literally nothing is happening now.
Yeah.
So,
Can I just go back to Kenny quickly
Yes,
right
go ahead.
here? I think Kenny's got that, if I'm not mistaken, and nobody's told me this based on earnings, he's got that on the wall, right? We're the worst team in the league, right?
Yeah.
Like,
why wouldn't
in
you
quotes,
have that? Yeah.
Because that's what everybody believes. Oh, my goodness. If I'm a coach, I'm using that. That's right, Basin Needs. You will use external motivation when you're talking about 18 to 22-year-olds. Yes.
Why wouldn't
you?
you?
Will do it.
That's how you've been labeled going into the season. I do think it's a little. I think everybody acknowledges it's the predictions this year are a little flimsy because it's a new conference and every player on every team is switching teams right now. But regardless, they were picked to finish 16th in a 12-team conference. So why not just go right into it like Kenny did? Welcome to the Big 12.
If I were
the
Kenny,
worst
I'd
team
walk
in it.
around with cards just passing them out.
He might be.
We're the worst team in the league.
He honestly,
there you go.
would you put it past him? All right, Wolf, we got practice going on out here now, and you've been saying throughout the show today that this could be the most physical one yet. And, yeah, I guess anybody could say that any day, but you have reasoning behind it now just based on where we are in camp.
It's exactly right, Luke. Right now, anytime based on earnings, you're a week, and it's the weekend, You're a week before playing your first preseason game. The weekend, meaning Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, whenever it is right there. That weekend, that open weekend before you play your first preseason game, the fur's going to fly. You can almost guarantee that. A lot has changed since I was in the league in 1985, Basinonians. A lot has changed in how you prepare a human being. As a matter of fact, that's the biggest change in the game of football, period. But having said that right now, this is going to be the most physical weekend, I think, maybe in training camp, apart from the preseason games, of course, that you're going to play. I think we'll see live football out here, whether it's in individual, where they're working against each other one-on-one, whether it's in group, where they go 9-on-7 maybe, or inside run, or whether it's going to be in team, where it's 11-on-11. I think we're going to see some live situations here.
Not to derail you, but Gambo did just tweet out Eduardo Rodriguez expected to start Tuesday.
Oh, my goodness. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just get all the news in here.
Merrill's not going to be long after that, right? According to most accounts.
That's the
Jody
way
told us.
That's the way it had been going. The Erod one is, I mean, this is not unexpected now, but it's still huge news. But, I mean, usually he hasn't pitched a game for the Diamondbacks this season. You would think it was going to take forever to ramp up. But, I mean, I guess they have been ramping him up in the sim games. So
I'm just going to keep saying it. 33-19 in your last 52 games right now, and you're getting these guys? Okay. Time to put the hammer down right now, baby.
For the people that have soured on Eduardo Rodriguez, and I get it, it's been frustrating, he hasn't played yet. His numbers last year were basically identical to Merrill Kelly's.
Yes, there you go.
His actual numbers were basically Merrill Kelly's. So, now, it doesn't guarantee anything. I mean, Jordan Montgomery had amazing numbers last year, and he hasn't been the same with the D-backs. But, yeah, it sounds like he's there. He's in Pittsburgh and ready to go.
So we got
Tuesday
a
against
full
Cleveland.
padded practice that is going on out here. Did you want to play something, Luke? Is that why you looked at me right there?
No, I want you to. You've been waiting for this moment right now.
This is it right here. It's a full padded practice. I believe it is going to be the most physical practice so far, at least. Maybe I'll put it that way. So far in training camp, this will be the most physical practice. I do believe, just based on what time in training camp this is happening, I do believe it will be the most physical weekend of training camp until you get into the preseason games, of course. And right now, this fills me with so much excitement, just seeing what they're going to work on here today. Kyler Murray as well, seeing him do some things over this training camp, throwing the ball from the pocket. That is what I'm going to be looking at today specifically. In live situations, if it is live, hey, even if it isn't live, stop and think about this. When you're in full pads in an NFL training camp, everyone knows what that means. You're going to go at a high tempo. You're not going to try to kill people. It's not 100% live, but it's 95%. You're going to go on that pace right there. So to me, watching him throw the ball from the pocket still applies, even if it's not 100% live.
Well, 1:15 for the red and white scrimmage tomorrow, too. So to your point on the weekend, I mean, this is supposed to, I mean, this is not just purely you speculating and using kind of past examples to kind of figure this out. Jonathan Gannon's been pretty clear that this is going to be a pretty physical practice too. And then tomorrow you got the red and white scrimmage, so you figure that's going to be pretty physical as well.
Yeah, you know, once again, I haven't heard JG actually speak of live situations that were going to happen out there, but if there is a day where it's going to happen, it's going to be today, and it could be tomorrow as well.
What's the most distracting thing to you when something's going on the field? Like if you and I were talking, I was like, well, if you can't look at, we're having a very serious discussion. Yeah. What's the one thing that, like, if they did it out there, you'd be like, I have to look. I'm sorry.
Right now, it is kickoff cover.
Because it's new?
Because it's new.
Okay.
And nobody really knows what to expect. It's kickoff cover, and I think if you were seeing one-on-one pass rush.
Okay.
Offensive linemen, of course, working against defensive linemen. It used to be blitz pickup, Basinonians. Blitz pickup. What is that? Well, that's where a running back is blocking an outside or inside linebacker, and it's totally unfair to the running back the whole time because the outside linebacker or inside linebacker gets basically a 5-7 yard sprint at you, and you're supposed to block him and keep him from getting to the quarterback that's lined up behind you. You have no offensive line, no reference point whatsoever. It's just you, open space, which it never is in a game because you have players next to you where you're one-on-one with a blitzing linebacker. And that guy has two options. He tries to run you over, truck you, or he tries to make it look like he's going to truck you and then goes around you. And it can be very embarrassing if you guess wrong as to what is going to happen. So the best thing is, don't guess.
I have to say this before we go. Marv's out there with the rugby ball, and he's facing the wall.
Yeah.
And he's got one of the coaches. They throw it while he's facing the wall, and he just turns and catches it. So
Marv's always doing something.
He's always doing something. He's got his own Marv things he does. All right. That's it. Thanks to Aaron Maloney, Jesse Morrison. For Wolf, I'm Luke. We got Burns and Gambo next, and there's Arizona Sports, the local sports league.
Ciao.
As far as that pretty much wraps things up here. And for one last time, this is